Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us here on the Greyhawk channel. I'm Eugenio, also known as your friendly neighborhood dungeon master DM Jazzy Hands. I use he/him pronouns, and I am so excited to be back now with our full complement of players to continue our story, the Brenton Files, Myths, and Monsters. Speaking of our full complement of players, let's go around and introduce everybody, including our newest player, but we'll wait for her to go last. So why don't we start this week with Alicia? How you doing?
Hello, I'm Alicia. I play Lambo Rathul, the Earth Genasi sorcerer, who will actually use her spells correctly this week.
It's okay. She had a little warlock moment last week, and we got through it, and it's all good.
That's right. My pronouns are she, her.
Thank you. Awesome. Let's pop to the other side of me and say hi, Kyle.
Hi, I'm Kyle. My pronouns are he, him. I play Merrick. Their pronouns are they, them, and I also don't like them.
Don't like what?
I don't like them. They're not a good person.
Oh, Merrick, you mean?
You don't like
Yeah, no, Merrick is sort of nasty sometimes, but it makes me happy. Awesome. So Merrick, to finish Kyle's intro for him, is a conjuration wizard who has a familiar named, I'm going to get this wrong, don't tell me, Lazarus.
Yeah,
Yay.
I forgot that part.
Excellent. Ismail.
Yes, I'm playing a half-elf bard by the name of Zephyr Stewart, and he is just a kind soul who wishes to help everyone at any given moment.
Oh, he is such a good boy.
And he, him for both me and Zephyr.
Perfect, thank you. And last, but most certainly not least, our fantastic new addition this week. I am so excited to have her with us. Emily, say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody. I am Emily. I go by the she, her pronouns. I'm playing Zenda, who is brand new. I'm also brand new to this, so bear with me. It'll be fun. And I have no idea what I'm doing.
That's not true. You keep saying that, and I can tell you it's
true.
not true. Emily,
Fight me,
Emily is the newest of us to the D and the D. Oh, I hate saying it that way. It sounds so gross. Never mind. To D&D.
The D and the D.
She is the newest of us to the game and to streaming, and that is part of why I wanted to bring her on. She's a fantastic role player. She's a fantastic actress, but I introduced the game to her a few months ago. She took to it like a fish to water, and I thought I always like to include new players in my streams and my podcast because it keeps us all honest, and I feel like it gives new players a really cool way in, because where Emily will have questions, so will many new players who might be watching the stream. So ask questions. That is not a problem. I am happy to answer them. We are all here to have a good time and to learn to play and to tell some fun stories. And you are playing Zenda, who is a halfling rogue?
Yes.
Fantastic. I was pretty sure I had that right.
Yes.
Okay. Before we get started, I do have some stuff to talk about for you all. Some shout out to our awesome sponsors and supporters that we have here on the Greyhawk channel. First and foremost, we of course want to thank all of you that have either subscribed here on the Twitch channel or joined our Patreon at patreon.com/thegreyhawk channel. We appreciate your support so very much, and it makes it possible for us to do everything that we do here, for all of the incredible programming that we have every week here on this channel. Thank you so much. Next up, we want to thank Roll20. We aren't going to, once again, this week we're not going to be using their virtual tabletop service on screen, although a few of our players are going to be using Roll20 as their dice roller this week. But we may use it in future streams, and in any case, they are we, the Greyhawk channel, are supported by Roll20, the world's leading virtual tabletop system, and you can try out their services for free at roll20.net. We also have an official battle map sponsor. Heroic Maps has more than 300 maps available on Drive-Thru RPG, so you can go check those out. We're sponsored by Tabletop Loot. You can go to tabletoploot.com, use the coupon code Greyhawk to get 15% off of your dice order there. And last but most certainly not least, we want to thank Devin Rue and Cantrip Candles for both of their support. Our Patreon supporters and our Twitch subscribers get access to exclusive coupon codes from Devin and from Cantrip Candles via the private supporter channel of our Discord. So you can check out everything that they have available at their respective sites, rueinc.com, that's RUEINK.com, and cantripcandles.com. In terms of stuff here on the channel in particular, we've got a couple of bars at the bottom of the screen that y'all might have noticed. We do have a spring season follower goal of 400 new followers. This is week 2 of this season, and we are already at 104 new followers, which is amazing. So if you are here with us right now and you have not already followed the channel, it doesn't cost anything. It just means that you get notifications when we go live. So up at the top of the browser where you're watching our stream, click on that little heart button so that you can join us in following. I will wait. Did you click it? Okay, cool, thanks. We have also got a stream boss, which is in the middle of the bottom of the screen. I don't know what that means. Somebody can tell me if it becomes relevant. I'm sort of new to the Greyhawk channel. This is my second time here, and I don't know what the stream boss is, but it sounds exciting, and he looks like he has a lot of hit points, so we should probably kill him or something.
I'm pretty sure when you donate, you take out some of the health, and whoever kills the stream boss becomes the new stream boss.
I love that. All right. Well, what they said. Kill the street. Oh, but I like Kevin. Don't kill. Well, I guess kill Kevin as the. Whatever. Anyway, donate stuff and kill Kevin. Right, exactly. Last but not least, we have our Divine Favor bar. Anytime that you donate bits to the channel, we increase our Divine Favor bar. When we do hit our goal of 3,000 bits, we will get some Divine Favor, which allows rerolls and automatic successes on saving throws and attack rolls and things like that for our players. So cool stuff there. So we appreciate any and all bit donations that go towards our Divine Favor for our players. Okay, so much housekeeping, but I think we're done. Are we ready? Ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely.
Of the player circle. I don't know. All right, let's get started. Would anyone like to take the recap of this week's, or of last week's game? I can do it, but it's usually so much more interesting to get it from a player perspective.
I can do it.
Yeah, do it.
Cool. Okay. So, last week, the Fraction faction woke up after a long night. Some of us had better sleep than others. Some trances did not go very well. Merrick, who was a bit grumpy and rude to the staff, have a good time of it, and also couldn't hear these mysterious whispers that Lambeau and Zephyr both heard. Zephyr could actually tell what the voices were saying. Lambeau just heard noises. And as we continued our morning, it seemed that the noises were coming from this mysterious house out on a hill, I think, perhaps.
Yes.
And as we arrived at the house, there was some sort of light. I think it might have been a blue light in the top corner window that seemed odd and seemed like we should check it out. Lazarus appeared to poked his head up there. Merrick's familiar and saw that the room was charred. But couldn't actually tell where the light was coming from. But it was a charred room. It was coming from there, but yeah. And then Lazarus came back, and then Lambeau picked up the knocker. There was no handle on a door, and there was also a note saying, "This is our headquarters," because we didn't have a headquarters before, because we all screwed up in various ways, which has not yet been revealed yet. We'll get to that. And there was a knocker. So Lambeau touched the knocker, and before it could to swing it to knock, she disappeared. Same thing happened with Zephyr. He grabbed the knock, disappeared. And then the door just creaked open so Merrick could walk in, and he was not stuck in a room. Lambeau was stuck in a room with kitchenware that we will replace when this house is haunted. Zephyr got stuck in a child's room with a mysterious voice saying, "Clean up the toys," and the toys became animated and flew all around and were trying to hurt him, though he sang a song. He resolved it rather peacefully, putting the toys away. Lambeau, not so much. There were shenanigans running around an aisle. There might have been some Monty Python music. We don't know. We don't have rights. Then, after both of those stuff were resolved, Merrick entered the dining room. A dining room. There was an imp. He destroyed it. The door opened there. And now we're in a room with a carpet that tried to eat Zephyr multiple times. Did we actually beat the carpet? I think
you beat the carpet, yes.
I think we beat the carpet.
And it did more than try to eat Zephyr on multiple occasions. It damn near succeeded.
And yes, and Lazarus got poofed.
Damn.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Lazarus
poor Lazarus. That's right.
Poor Lazarus.
Yeah,
he'll be back.
Lazarus is many.
As you can tell, Merrick is heartbroken. And now we're just trying to finish building the staircase to somewhere. Mystery. Let's go with mystery.
Yes, I like mystery. Yeah, mystery sounds good. Okay, so the four of you then, we come back. Excuse me, we come back with the four of you huffing, puffing, Zephyr, having experienced places in a rug that no man or woman or person should ever experience. And what are you all doing at the moment?
I believe we had finished up a short rest. Oh, that's right. We had both been catnapped. So
Yeah.
we're
Yes.
a bit more refreshed. And I guess now we're going to open more doors together to try and build the rest of that staircase.
So as you go back out into the hall, you can sort of see that staircase now appears to be finished.
Yeah, because we did a library after the catnap.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
That's right. You catnapped before that's right.
Oh, okay. That's right.
Yeah, so as you poke your heads out after, fighting the rug, you see that the staircase has been completed. Why don't the three of you make me wisdom perception rolls?
Oh, boy.
So I need to get...
That was almost a natural one. Thank God it was not.
There we go. All right, so what was it if it wasn't a natural one, Merrick?
It was a 13.
Okay, not so bad, not so bad. What do we have for Lambeau?
Lambeau did not roll a natural one, but it is a 1.
Great, so Lambeau is your scout, it seems. How about Zephyr?
Zephyr got a natural 20 with a total
Yeah,
of 22.
Zephyr. Okay, so Zephyr is the only one who actually notices that if you remember, and Zephyr, you were the one who checked out the door in the first place, right? Like you hopped up the stairs and went and looked. So if you remember, you noticed that the door appeared to have like a painted or a carved door handle, but it wasn't real. You notice there's something different. It looks like it's got more depth to it now, and you think that actually the door handle might be real now.
Does it look trapped?
Would you like to give it a closer look? From across the hallway, it sure doesn't, but...
I will give it a shot.
Okay.
Let's try investigation.
Yes, please. Always interested in how different DMs do that, but I do investigation to check for that specifically. Oh,
Yeah.
Look at that.
Also a 22.
Also a 22. It does not look trapped, but it definitely looks like a fully functional, real live doorknob now. So that's a plus, I suppose.
Well, friends, it would appear that this door has finally decided to let us traverse it. So are we ready to open the door?
Well, sure, and why not? We're not getting any younger.
Do we trust the door?
Do you normally trust inanimate objects?
Do you trust a rug now or pots and pans now?
I don't.
Well,
That's-
then, do we trust the door?
Well, let me say that it doesn't appear to be trapped. Whether the door has ill intentions as anything else in the dimension,
Yeah,
I cannot
you rolled
say.
investigation, not insight.
Well, how about we stand across the room and I open it with this and I conjure a mage hand?
Very well. Let us attempt to do so.
You are so timid. All right.
So as you all gather at the bottom of the stairs, Merrick ready with their mage hand, staring up, ready for anything, you hear a click and a creak coming from behind you at the far end of the hallway where the front door is. And what do we see?
I thought it was gonna be. So dark in here.
It is actually quite dark in there. When you walk inside, you don't have dark vision, so it's pretty dark inside.
I dropped some chips. Do we have housekeeping in here? Can I get a broom? Hello?
Oh my.
Emily, why don't you describe what they see?
You see this little halfling chowing down on some chips that we don't have a sponsor for.
I was gonna say turn that around.
She is a little worse for wear. Hair's a little wild. Been through some shit, but is relatively happy because she's got her snacks.
Also, to be very
That's all
clear,
that matters.
you all just got eaten by a rug. When she says worse for wear, she means that, like, she had to walk a while.
Like I'm sweaty. I'm a little sweaty. Right.
Mm.
Just a little damp around the forehead.
I'm sorry. I knew it was coming and I still can't.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, all right. So, yeah, that's what you all see and hear come through the front door of the house.
I'm
Hello?
sorry, who are you?
Hold on. I'm Zenda. Who are you?
The mage hand goes over and shakes her hand. It's like, Merrick, pleasure.
Now, as soon as Zenda says her name, the three of you knew that there was meant to be a fourth member of the Soldiers of Acheron here with you, and you knew her name. She sort of didn't show up yesterday, but things were also so disorganized when you all arrived. Like, nobody knew why you were there. Nobody knew anything about your headquarters. So, you know, there was so much else going on that you didn't really get a chance to think about it. But as soon as she says her name, you realize who she is.
Oh, Zenda. You're late.
Is there a time for this?
Yesterday.
Don't mind them. They woke up on the wrong side of the trance today.
At least I woke up and showed up, so who's really winning?
I mean, I'm here and I got a full night's sleep, so
I
I dropped
that.
another tip. See? I like you. What's your name?
I'm Lambo. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Lambo. All right. How about you? This other guy. Who are you?
My name is Zephyr. It is a pleasure. Apologies for the way that this entire mansion is in such decrepit state, but this would be our headquarters.
Huh. Well, you're sweet. No need to apologize to me. I've been in worse, but what's going on? What do you Oh, look, a door.
You now, at this point, now that you've sort of been introduced to them, Zenda, like you have a brief moment. Whether or not you care or not is entirely up to you, but you do notice that they're a little the worse for wear in a more intense way than you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They look like they too have been through some shit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We are currently in the process of renovating, which is to say we're ridding this mansion
One could
of
say
some very disturbing elements.
Disturb, like mold or disturbing
It's
elements?
haunted.
Like- oh, it's haunted. Okay. Great.
At least that's my reckoning.
That is a pretty good assessment.
Well, okay, so if this is haunted, are we gonna go someplace else, or are we?
No,
Not care.
This is ours. If we want a place to regularly sleep that we don't pay for, we gotta unhaunt this place.
It's also literally
I like
what you do with the Soldiers of Acheron is deal with things like hauntings.
Yeah,
Can we just not and still get paid?
I mean,
but like I don't. We have to stay. Like, can we stay someplace else and come back here? Like, so we're not sleeping. But it's fine. What step are we on to get rid of the mold ghosts?
Well, right now we need to go find whatever room that light was coming from outside. I don't know if you saw it, but there's some charred room in here.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Who's leading?
Well, I guess we can try the door. That door. Lambo will actually walk up the staircase and see if the door just continues to open the front door.
yes. Oh, the front door. The front door. That's a good question. Hold, please. Where are my dice? I don't know where my dice are. It's fine. We're gonna use this.
Uh-oh.
The door. So, the door was standing open this whole time. Like, Zenda just walked in, door was open, there was some light streaming in. As soon as Lambo goes to reach for it, it slams shut in her face.
Well, unhaunted is.
Okay.
Hi. All right. Well, I guess we go to another room and hope we don't get attacked by cutlery and or toys and or a rug.
Or a chair. I got attacked by a chair.
Nobody cares, Merrick.
Mhm.
I care.
Thank you, Zephyr.
I care because that sounds like a great story. I feel like I missed something.
You missed a lot, but let's continue.
Oh,
But that being said, let us move cautiously towards that new room. It seems that this mansion is guiding us. Perhaps it is trying to tell us something of great importance.
You're right, Zephyr. Let's head towards that other room.
all right.
Lambo start walking that way.
Excellent. So, are we back to the mage hand to open the door plan, or is Lambeau just gonna open it?
Lambo's just opening
Yeah, I
it.
love that.
Letting Lambo do it. He's like, oh, never mind.
I love it. So Lambeau reaches, turns the doorknob, and it opens without any resistance or explosion.
She'll look over at Merrick. You are such a baby. Walk through.
Zenda peeks around Merrick and says, "Yeah," as she's hiding.
I love it. All right, so up the stairs you head. As you sort of get to the top of the stairs, let me have everybody roll me wisdom perception checks, please.
Joy.
What does that mean for me?
That means, right, so on your sheet you see your skills. You've got, wait, I'm going to open up your sheet. So you've got the skills, and towards the bottom they're all in alphabetical order, but you see perception, so you're going to roll a d20 and add that number to it.
D20. And when I type in
/R 1d20.
1d20, got it.
You can do 1d20 plus 4 if you don't want to do the math.
I get what those. Okay, now I understand. I didn't.
Also new to D&D Beyond, which is a whole different thing. All right, let's look at everybody else while we do that. So, Lambeau, how'd you do?
I got a mighty 7.
Well, that's
a lucky number, right?
that is better than the one that you had before. Zephyr.
Yeah, natural one.
Oh no. Merrick.
A strong 4.
Y'all.
Hey, I'm leading the pack right now.
That's true. You're busy, Lambeau. You're right. Zenda.
Got a 15.
Oh, I got a 15.
I got a 15.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So this is actually perfect. Zenda, as you all are heading up the stairs, you hear a little like a rustling or a scraping or something coming back from the hallway behind you. And are you at the back? Where are you in this little lineup?
I'm in the back.
You're absolutely in the back. Great. So you turn around and make me a dexterity saving throw real quick.
Uh-oh.
So same thing, roll that same die, but this time you're going to add the dexterity save, which is in that box on the left of your sheet.
Box on the left.
As towards you.
Is that the +7?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yes, we all get it.
she's
You're
learning.
good at dex saves.
She's learning. 1d20 + 7. 19. Did I do that right?
Yes, I'm sure you did. I'll have a look in a minute. Okay, so you turn around and your mouth is sort of a little bit hanging open as you what? And right towards your mouth comes flying that chip that you dropped in the entranceway, but you managed to duck out of the way. And who's right in front of you?
I think it's Merrick.
It was me.
Okay, Merrick, something hits you in the back of the head.
What are you doing back there?
Me? I didn't do shit. Did you see that?
What just
That was-
touched me then?
A chip.
I'm
I didn't
sorry.
throw it. A chip. The chips that I have. There's one on the floor, and it flew at your head. This place really is haunted, and they don't like you. Why don't they like you, Merrick?
Apparently it's a theme.
Well,
But
Yeah.
but they're so lovable. Excellent. So Zenda, you hear just a it's almost, you're not sure you heard it, but you're pretty sure you heard a little soft.
I know I'm funny, but something. Did y'all hear that?
Hear what?
So y'all, did you hear the laughter just now from where the chip came from?
No.
I do know that we've been plagued with whispers. Part of the reason we're here. If we were to leave, we would probably be still plagued with whispers. A good reason to continue on. And it should be noted that this mansion seems to have somewhat of a mischievous streak, so I believe that it probably threw a chip.
So this is not like an initiation thing for me. This is like real haunting happening.
Yeah, this is a real thing.
Great. I would like to investigate what could potentially be laughing.
Yeah.
A real person or a...
Totally. Why don't you make me... Let's call it... I mean, you know it's haunted, so how about an intelligence religion check? Or I think either religion or arcana. I think you're bad at both of them, as I recall.
I am bad at both.
Great.
I'm bad at both. Yep, +0.
Nat 20.
And a +0, yep.
Yeah, right.
So then what do I roll?
Same thing, 1d20, and then you're going to add a whole ass 0.
A whole ass nothing. And I got a 10.
Okay, so, I mean, if this place really is haunted, it could be anything. It could be a ghost, it could be a poltergeist, which is a type of ghost. It might be... It might be some... There's obviously also, in addition to this place being haunted, there's obviously some magic shit going down in here. So it might be like a magic mouth illusion spell or something that's just programmed to make noises. It's hard to tell.
Okay. So I'm feeling like it's pretty safe at the moment. It's not...
Yeah, I mean, from what they've said, like, if something wants to attack you, it's going to attack you, and it hasn't yet, so you're probably okay.
Fair. Great. All right. Onward.
Cool.
Where's Zephyr?
Lambo keeps walking.
All right. So into this next little hallway you go. It's quite dark in here, and you see just almost immediately to your right in this dark hallway, there's a small, very nondescript, sort of unassuming door to the right, and then all the way down the hallway, maybe about 10 feet or so, 10-15 feet down the hallway, and on the left side of the hall is sort of a much bigger, much more ornately carved with all sorts of like scroll work and vine carvings, a much larger door. And I will say, we've determined that the halfling does not have dark vision. Who does somebody else not have dark vision?
Lambo doesn't.
That's
either.
right. That's right. The Genasi doesn't. Okay, so it's up here, like it's pretty pitch black in this hallway.
Okay, I'm trying to think. Remember, did I have the light cantrip?
I have the light cantrip, and I will cast it.
Figured somebody did.
I'm not helpful because I don't like others.
I'm not helpful.
And regardless of whether or not you like me, the first thing I do is grab onto the back of whatever you're wearing, so I don't get lost in the dark.
Oh, now you're touching me. Wonderful. Okay, let's continue.
My hands are
She
clean.
does also have it, so she'll probably light up. I don't know. Probably her gloves, actually, because she's feeling fanciful.
Oh, fancy.
Yes, fancy.
Yeah, so she'll...
Do we want to go to the nondescript door or the fancy one that's probably going to be our way out?
Let's go nondescript. She'll head to that.
Because that's the logical solution. Okay.
What? Hey, you asked a question. You didn't say we should do one or the other.
Lead the way, Lambo. Lead the way.
I can't with you all.
We'll go through the nondescript door.
Great. All right, so you go for the door that's closer to you. It's the one on the right. And you open it up, and it, excuse me, it looks like sort of a storage closet. It's really big, though. It like sort of goes off for a while to the left, like a solid 10 feet or so. It's probably 10 or 15 feet wide. It looks like there's a little alcove that sort of bends around back to the right. It's a big old closet, and it's got buckets. Pots and pans were downstairs. Buckets and mops and brooms, Zenda. It's also got just like crates that look like they, storage crates. You're not sure what's in them. There are bolts of fabric. There's dust everywhere. It just looks like some sort of like a little storage utility closet. Well, not little, but some sort of a storage utility closet.
I would like to investigate this closet because the last time a mundane thing heard with Limbo, it ended up being something. So I was just like, no, let's go for nondescript.
I don't know what you're talking about. Yes. So I'll take, I can take an investigation if you like, an intelligence investigation.
All right, so this will be +4. So 12?
Oh, I was like, that looks like a 1. No, I'm looking at the wrong place. All right, 12. Yeah. So you sort of go in here, and the most important thing that you notice is whereas all of the other rooms in the house were, there were sort of 2 main things about each and every one of them that you noticed. One was that they were immaculately clean. If you remember in the kitchen, like all of those pots and pans and stuff were sparkling clean, like they'd just been washed. And the other was that sort of pervasive smell of smoke, of wood smoke. In here, you notice neither. It's quite dusty, clearly has not been disturbed in some time, and also you still smelled the smoke in the hallway, but you don't smell it at all when you sort of go in and investigate this closet.
Now she's more curious about this one. Do I have prestidigitation? I don't remember. No. Yeah, she'll just was there like a broom in here at all, or was it just the mop?
There are brooms, couple of like wood straw headed brooms.
She will actually try and straighten this room up then.
Yes.
This is the only room that has not.
It's true. It's true.
I'm sorry. What are you doing right now?
Cleaning.
Zephyrs helping.
Is this really the time?
Yes.
Can we do this after we've defeated whatever is plaguing us?
No,
This
because
may
this
be
room
what is
didn't
plaguing
immediately attack us. How about we be nice to it?
If we clean the house, it will all be better. Yes,
She's
Zenda.
still convinced.
I call that this is my bedroom. This is my bedroom. If nothing is attacking. This is where that's fine. Nothing's attacking in here. I call this room. Have we picked bedrooms yet? I'm so behind. I don't know what you guys have done so far. So I choose this room. I'll help you clean. Let me grab it.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, Merrick.
Merrick is just gonna stand against the wall and watch this in horror. Like, what are you doing?
Oh my gods.
We have a job to do. And this is not the job.
Here, Merrick,
That's
hold
the
this.
sound of somebody not helping.
Zenda hands Merrick her chip bag.
They hold it with the mage hand. That's the little one that's right next to them.
Yeah. I love it. All right, so are we like deep cleaning? Are we just straightening it up and leaving the deep clean for like how intense are we getting here?
Lambo would like to deep clean. This has been the
I'm
nicest room
obsessed.
in this house.
I love everything about this. Amazing.
And this is gonna be this room, so we should
my
make
bedroom. So
roll for
it's
cleaning.
not haunted. Not haunted.
I love it. Okay. It's definitely it's as you start cleaning, you really do notice how different this room is from the rest of the house. The smell here, like I said, is sort of musty and dusty, not of burning wood. And it looks like years, decades of disuse, right? Sort of looking at it at first, because it was so sort of pristine in its dirtiness, in its dustiness, you didn't really appreciate like how thick the dust is, how thick the cobwebs are in the corner. This is, it's been a while since anybody was in here. So you all can definitely give it a nice deep scrub. It'll take, it'll take the better part of an hour, but you can definitely do it.
It's fine. Yeah, so as if they're cleaning, Lambo is gonna want to probably out loud, just like, I think this house is a lot older than we think it is. Because this seems to be the only room not affected by whatever haunting magic is going on here. And now I'm curious as to why.
That is a pretty good assessment. I'd love to be able to find any local records as to any kind of information about the house and its age.
That was so measured and thoughtful. Merrick, what you doing?
I think every once in a while, Merrick gets bored and they start fucking with them behind their backs.
You are the worst.
So, like, they're going to use thaumaturgy to make the ground rumble beneath them. Let's make the closet shake a little bit. Like,
are the worst. also forgot you were a tiefling, and I was like, how the hell do you know thaumaturgy?
What is happening? Oh no, I'm a devil.
I hate you.
Oh, Merrick, you little devil, you.
Oh my god, everything about this. All right. So I know we did the catnap before the library room,
Yes.
but we will say this might be setting a very dangerous precedent, but I'm going to say that cleaning is not strenuous enough to keep you all from having a short rest in this hour, if you would like.
Yay!
I feel like I've set a dangerous precedent, but also I know Zephyr got real fucked up down there, so...
True.
Yeah, so if we will say that the hour cleaning is a short rest. If any of you want to roll hit dice or Zenda, I feel like you're probably fine.
I'm fine. I'm just fine.
If the rest of you, Lambo can get her Sork points back, roll some hit dice, that kind of stuff.
Aha.
And just know that with my Song of Rest, anyone you see, we're probably whistling while we work.
Yes.
And anyone who uses hit dice recovery can get an extra d6.
Oh, great. Okay, so if you're gonna roll hit dice, roll an additional 1d6, right, for the whole thing.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
In addition to any hit dice that you actually use.
Excellent. Okay.
Yeah, Limbo's actually good on hit points. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm at my max 27.
Look, wizard.
Leave me alone.
I shan't. All right. So an hour later, this place is spick and span through a combination of cantrips and elbow grease. You all managed to clean this place out. It could probably still use, some of the furnishings is probably a generous term for the crates and things that are in here.
Long-term TLC.
Right, exactly. They could use a stain, a polish, or whatever, but it's definitely, the dust is gone. The cobwebs are gone, and it's looking up, looking more like the rest of the house, I suppose. What are you all gonna do next?
What
I
else
guess
is in
we
the room?
can go investigate the rest of the house. And then
Mhm.
she'll kind of pat the door frame. Thank you, room. You were great.
So you're finished now?
Let's see. Are anyone who is proficient in either religion or arcana can make those rolls?
Okay.
Proficient in both.
Haha,
well.
23.
Yes, there's a number that's not sub 5.
I rolled a 7 earlier.
Oh, you're right. I'm so sorry. Sub 10. You're double digits. How's
We're
that?
at a single digits, yeah.
Well, I rolled a natural 1, so
Okay, well, that's because Merrick don't give a shit.
no, they do not.
I love it. Zenda, I am pretty sure that you are not proficient in either of those.
not
And Zephyr, with your Jack of all trades, you can make a roll if you'd like.
What were the two? It was Arcana and
Religion.
Religion. I am fully proficient.
Oh,
in
yes, you
religion.
are. Excellent.
Oh, but that was
Okay.
single digits.
Lambeau, and this sort of makes sense because you are the one who sort of seems to be the most in tune with the house itself, in a way. You notice you spend so much time in here, and your purpose for cleaning the room is not only to clean up for Zenda, but also, like you said, because you want to give care to the house for not attacking you in this room.
Pretty much.
And what you eventually notice throughout this hour and as you finish is that there did you were sort of constantly aware of a presence or an intelligence or a something in the rest of the house, right? Obviously the pots and pans attacked you, but I mean more than that. I mean, like, there was something to the house. You don't feel that in here. As you actually sort of try and reach out to think about it, to like thank whatever that is, it's not there. This house feels this room feels very separate in some way from the rest of the house.
Planar matters are not my specialty. But I do wonder if there's something weird going on with this, because this room doesn't feel like the rest of this house. I don't know why.
What
There's
about all those random rumblings?
Sweet
mean,
baby angel.
It's an old house. Maybe it's still settling. I don't know. It didn't attack us though.
That didn't.
I'll
This is
take it.
true. This is true.
Oh well. Let's go towards the fancy door that Merrick wants to explore.
Merrick jumps up and actually gets excited a little bit. They're like, oh, thank goodness. Okay, let's go.
The most energy we've seen of Merrick all day.
Lead the way.
Ha!
Sure.
Oh. All right.
I approach the door. I am taking the initiative.
I love
See how
it.
you roll.
Yeah, so roll it. No, not quite yet.
Noticed it yet.
All right, so you approach the door. Do you open the door?
Is there a handle on
There
it?
is a handle on this door, yes.
I
That
will
is a
use
fair
my
question.
hand. I will go to reach for it, and then I'm like, not that much initiative. Takes 5 steps back and open the door.
Fantastic. Okay. So you open up the door and you can see beyond. You have dark vision. It is also quite dark up here mostly. The door opens onto an enormous sort of bedroom / living space. It's quite large. To the left of the door, you can see. Do you reapproach that? Because otherwise you're not going to see much of the room. So I'm going to assume that you're reapproaching. To the left of the door, you can see a little alcove that has a large bearskin rug on the floor. There's a little like coffee table looking thing with 2 chairs. All 3 of those pieces are on top of the bearskin rug, and they're all sort of in front of a fireplace that's built into the far left wall. Let's see. There are, sort of in the far corner, there are these beautifully ornate painted dressing screens that are sort of screening off the corner of the room. To the right of the door is the bedroom portion of this large chamber. On the far right wall, there's this beautiful 4-poster bed sitting up against the wall. It's got bedside tables on either side of it. There are lanterns, not lit, but lanterns on either of those tables. There's a bureau on one wall with a ewer and a basin on top of it. There's a large wardrobe with some mirrors, some polished... mirrors is fine. With some mirrors. And the majority of the floor on the bedroom side of this room is covered by an enormous rug.
As Merrick takes in this, they turn back to the rest of the group and they say, I'm claiming this one.
Zenda says, why? And runs forward blindly into the darkness. See why Merrick chose that room.
Excellent. So Zenda runs in and
Zephyr's like, Zenda, no.
she gets into the room and can't really see anything because Lambo's lit gloves are still out in the hall. So she's just sort of in there in the dark. Why don't you make me, however, since you're in the room, make me a perception check with disadvantage, Zenda, which means you roll 2d20 and use the lower.
2d20. Sorry, typing with these nails is kind of garbage. Use the lower 15.
Let's see. Oh, hilarious. Yes, 15. Sorry, I got distracted because a friend of Emily's and mine just logged into Twitch to watch, but apparently I must have logged into Twitch on her computer at some point because she's chatting using my name.
Oh, really?
Lillian is here with us, Emily.
My God. Oh my God. She is definitely using
Yeah, she's logged in with my name. Lillian, I adore you and I'm so happy you're here. Maybe log out and create a name of your own.
Hi, Lilia. I wonder if that would happen if I typed on here too, because I'm pretty sure you've also logged in on my computer.
Entirely possible. Anyway, you got a 15 on your perception check. You notice behind the screens are pretty thick. But you notice from around the edges and underneath them, there is, in fact, a soft blue glow emanating.
Okay. But I can't see anything else. That's all I see.
No, you only notice that because it's literally the only thing you can see. And it doesn't... I described the dressing screens because Merrick could see them, but you just see, like, a soft little blue, very dim blue light outlining something, and that's all you can see in the whole room, which is probably why you noticed it.
Got it. Hey, Lambo?
Yeah?
You wanna move your hands in here real quick?
All right, Lambo, walk in.
Great. Do you see the blue light? You see that? I want to know what it is. I can't get over there though. I can't see. Do you maybe want to go check it out?
Lambo, with the light in the room, actually, why don't you make me a perception check, also with disadvantage, because now you can see in the room, but the light from your gloves sort of actually washes out that blue glow a little bit. So let's see.
that would be an 8.
You don't know what she talking about.
No. I don't. I see my hands.
You see? You don't see?
I want to imagine that Lambeau is doing like a combination of voguing and shadow puppets.
Yes. 100%.
Yes.
100%. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Just duck walking in.
Yes. Yes.
As Lambo is duck walking.
Somebody please clip this for us, because this is amazing.
As Lambo's duck walking, Zenda grabs her wrist and drags her closer.
Yeah, where we go? Oh, okay.
Let's get. Okay.
All right, drags closer to the
To the screens.
Great,
So I can
to the
see where blue light is
screens.
coming from.
All right. So, you drag her closer, and you're like, that light. And Lambeau, it still sort of takes you a minute to notice anything, and then you notice something. Because you all feel a sort of burst of energy come from behind the screens. The screens slam to the ground, knocked over by some force, and behind them, you see a figure standing in the middle of a glowing circle made of arcane runes and writing and sigils in the floor that has been clearly carved into the floor of this corner of the room. And I think it was Zephyr. Which one of you dreamt about the creepy man in the cowl and robe? Oh,
That was
Merrick.
me.
Okay, so Merrick, this figure looks very familiar to you. Having to ask which of you dreamt about that sort of ruined the... Whatever, it doesn't matter. Yeah, so you see this figure sort of standing in this sigil of... in this magical circle, glowing circle. And he looks up at you all, and it is an old... you see underneath his hood, it is an old, balding man. Human, but very, very old. And he sort of smiles, and it is a cracked, broken smile, and he smiles at you and sort of very slowly begins to applaud and says, "The 4 of you will do nicely."
Oh.
And let's roll initiative.
There it is.
Yay.
Was all right. 11.
All right. Let's see. That's Lambeau is 11.
17 for Zephyr.
17 for
Help me out, DM.
Zephyr. Initiative at the top in the middle of your sheet.
Got
D20
it.
and
Wait,
add
wait,
that.
D20?
Yeah.
Got it.
Merrick.
22.
Hey.
Natural 20.
Didn't that happen last week too?
I don't remember.
Okay. What? I don't
22.
know. Here we go. 22 for Zenda as well?
Yes.
All right. Which of you would like to go first, Merrick or Zenda?
Let's give Zenda the right of
All right.
way.
Okay.
All right.
So Zenda will go first. And now I've just got to add my friend here to the initiative. He rolled a 17, but I don't know his stats. However, he's definitely not going to be going before Zenda and Merrick. So, Zenda, this just happened. It was very startling. What do you do?
Zenda pulls the rapier and then says, "Magic friends, attack!" and then runs the other way. Behind them. Attack! And then runs behind. He's glowing blue. Something's blue. This is out of my realm of expertise. Till he comes closer, I don't know what to do. I'm gonna just hide behind them real quick.
Oh my god, I'm obsessed. Okay, fantastic. So Zenda, attack, and runs away. Merrick, you are one of the magic people she just talked to.
Watching Zenda run away, Merrick facepalms and says, "Oh my gosh, you're a soldier of Acheron? Why?" And then, like, from their wand, like, a plume of smoke comes out and starts forming creatures as they cast Summon Lesser Demons.
Ooh.
We're going for it.
I am going for it.
Holy shit. Okay.
And I'm summoning 8 demons of challenge rating 1/4 or lower. Let's see what kind of demons I can
Oh,
summon.
I think I get to choose what type of
You
demon
do, but I
summon.
figured from last time you wanted me to look up stats, so I was going to try to help you.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yes. Okay, so you said what was the CR that I'm looking for here?
1/4.
1/4. Okay, amazing. So while I look up this list of 1/4 CR demons, why don't you tell us what this summoning looks like?
So, Merrick raises their like triangular iron wand, and plumes of smoke come and start to fill the room and like coalesce in 8 blobs as they like within the smoke, little puffs of fire start to go out, start to ignite as they are summoned from the abyss. These demons, whatever they may be.
That's
That's
just
beautiful, man.
horrible.
That's beautiful.
Okay,
That's
well we have 2 choices. I think those are funnier.
I like to imagine, so, like in the abyss somewhere, there's like a neighborhood of demons, and all of a sudden, like a family of 8 gets uprooted from their home.
like the fuck? Literally, they just
I was like they're having tea. They're mid sip. Oh my god, I'm obsessed.
Well, I mean, if they're demons, let's be honest, they'd be like backyard wrestling or.
You're right. You're right. They probably wouldn't be having tea.
huh.
They're being summoned from WWE.
Okay.
Like the picture, they're all like playing.
Don't give me an excuse to make
Yeah.
a titration. Don't do
I'm
that.
telling you.
But meanwhile, Zephyr's like, oh dear, I don't know if I approve of this,
Fair.
This is my whole shtick.
and he's not gonna protest too much, but he's just like, kind of, like hand over his mouth. Just, oh.
We have no front line, so
Oh,
Merrick
no.
makes one.
Yes.
Oh no. Okay. So we're gonna go. For some reason I can't find a good picture of the one that I was going to choose. So you were going to summon how many?
8.
That's what I thought. You're gonna summon 8 dretches, which are, well, the weakest of demons, repulsive, self-loathing creatures doomed to spend an eternity in a state of perpetual discontent. Their low intelligence makes dretches unsuitable for anything but the simplest tasks. However, what they lack in potential they make up for in sheer malice. This is from the Monster Manual. Dretches mill about in mobs, voicing their displeasure at an unsettling din of hoots, snarls, and grunts. So this grunting, hooting, snarling mass of horrible-looking creatures just appears in this room. And how much control do you have over them, Merrick, at this point?
The demons are hostile to all creatures, including you. Roll initiative for the summoned demons as a group, which has its own turn. The demons pursue and attack the nearest non-demons to the best of their ability. So I'm summoning them next to Shiny Boy.
Totally fair. All sort of
Shiny boy.
surrounding him.
And
I'm
I'm like pushing I'm like casting a spell. I'm like, stay back, please.
I
They
love
will
it.
bite you.
Okay.
I'm already by the door. I'm good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You're
I'm scanning.
perfectly fine. Ooh, they're terrible.
I rolled a 19 for their initiative.
Oh great, you roll. That's better. All right.
Great.
This is great.
This is fantastic. Okay, so they're sort of because you did 8 of them, right? So they're
Yeah.
completely surrounding him. I will say, and by saying this, it a little bit ruins the surprise that this is going to matter. But I will say that let's see, 1, 2, 3. That 3 of them are standing upon parts of the circle that this person is in. The rest of them are standing sort of around the edges of it so that they can get around him.
Okay.
Fantastic. So, it is the Dretch's turn, in fact. That worked out well. So, I need the 3 of them that are standing on the... that are standing on the circle to make Constitution saving throws.
A joy.
What's their
It is a +1.
Bonus. Do we roll 3 separate ones or just one?
Yeah, sure.
Doesn't answer the question. So I
Oh,
rolled
I'm
a
sorry.
5.
I'm sorry. Just roll 1 for all of them.
That was a 5.
Okay, excellent. So the
They all
the
explode.
3 of them explode into a mess of ichor. No, not quite. Let's see. What does happen is... I'm so glad you have these stats up because it's one less screen that I have to have up. All right. So what does happen is they take some damage as you see them begin to wither and sort of waste away. 3d6. And so they each take 15 damage.
Oh.
Dang.
Now, to have a look at them, they have 18 hit points total, and this is necrotic damage that they take.
Your camera is frozen.
Oh, it sure is, isn't it? Yep. I
was
just
like, you're not
noticed that.
moving.
That's weird.
Come back. Oh my.
That's very strange. I wonder why that's happening. Sorry, everybody who's watching. I'm not sure why it's doing that. And now it says DM Shane, so that's really good. Great. I'm going to work on figuring that out while the creature in the person in the middle takes their turn. This is all very mysterious because you can't see me, but hopefully you can all hear me.
Yes.
Excellent. Okay. So this creature in the middle sort of looks around him at these dretches, these horrible demons, and sort of smiles and says, well done, and claps his hands together. Here we go. Claps his hands together and begins intoning a spell, and you see a spray. Well, I shouldn't say a spray of colors because it sounds like he's casting color spray, and he's not. You see a pattern of twisting colors reach throughout the air, and I need all of those dretches to make wisdom saving throws. And what is the range on... no, it doesn't matter. Let me have the dretches make a wisdom saving throw, please.
That's a 14.
A 14, I believe that does in fact save. I really don't know why my camera's not working. It's really bothering me. I apologize to everybody on stream because that's not why you're here, but anyway.
They have an 8 in wisdom, and that is not nearly their lowest stat, which is great.
But a 14, you said? So they do in fact make their save and are not affected by this hypnotic pattern, and he sort of scowls and continues to stand there. And next up is Zephyr.
All right. Let's see. Zephyr cannot do much given the fact that this being is surrounded by dretches. He's going to do something a little bit unorthodox and cast Detect Thoughts and see if he can detect the thoughts of this being at the center of the dretches.
Oh, I like that.
Yes. That's nice.
Okay, so are you wanting to probe deeper, or you just want to do the surface thoughts for now?
Let's start with the surface thoughts.
Okay, so the surface thoughts, because that doesn't involve any sort of save, I believe. If I remember correctly, it just sort of works. And so what you get from this person, you can definitely hear thoughts, and a lot of it is just sort of very clinically classifying each of you about what you will be useful for. Like that one is quite tall and will be useful for this when I get a hold of them, and this one seems to be quite intelligent, this and that. And sort of peppered in through all of that are images, flashes of each of you in turn lying in the center of this circle that he's currently standing in, and sort of held there by invisible bonds and being drained of your life force.
Ooh.
Those are the things that you see on the surface of his thoughts.
Okay. And that would be because that's an action. Okay, yeah, that's the extent of my turn. Oh, no, actually, I do want to do one other thing.
Yeah.
And say, Miss Lambeau, I don't know what we can do here, but this battle will be very important. Please lend to us your leadership style, and he will point and bardic inspiration. You've got a D8.
Thank you. No pressure.
Aw. Y'all are sweet. Y'all are nice.
Aren't they nice? All right, after Zephyr is Lambeau. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Lambo, come back.
Dropping like flies.
I know, right?
Oh no.
How strange.
Lambo.
All right, that is perfectly fine. Here's what we are going to do. We always take a little 5-minute break in the middle of our stream. We're going to take it a little bit early this week because 2 of the 5 of us are now having technical difficulties. So hang out, everyone. This is a very exciting combat that is going to get more exciting when I have a camera and Lambo is not frozen, I promise. Thank you all for hanging out. We'll be back in about 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere. See you shortly. Hey, everybody. So we have a sort of temporary fix situation. Okay, but it's going to take me just a minute. I know all of the players are currently frozen. I am very bad at production, so you all know. And I'm just going to have to fix a couple of things quickly, because I unfortunately don't really know what's wrong with my computer at the moment. And so we're using my phone as my camera. And yeah, it's fun times. So if you'll all just bear with me for a quick moment while I do some behind-the-scenes stuff in front of the scenes, because I'm a disaster. Down here, look, I found myself. You all get to see, this is very exciting for all of you, I know, because you're really just getting to see behind the curtain. And you're welcome for sort of showing you how this all happens.
Yeah, that shit's cool. So
yeah, right?
I think it's great.
I'm so glad. I do too. And by that I mean I'm hating every minute of having you all to watch this. So I truly apologize. Everything about this is making me sad and uncomfortable. So
Oh my god.
but
if it entertains the audience, it was worth it.
well, it's certainly something.
If anything, I'm entertained, so that's a positive for me.
Yeah. All right, it looks like I've sort of got us back. I have a feeling that my video and my audio are not quite in sync for the viewers because they're getting my audio from my microphone and my video from my camera. So sorry about that, everybody, but at least you can see me and I can do all my crazy gestures. And I'll scoot this way. Oh, no. Y'all, I am a disaster today. Thank you all for staying and watching. Hey, let's get back into combat. This is awful. I just want to... Let's play. This is terrible. Let's play.
I'm obsessed.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh.
No, it's okay. What can we do but laugh or cry? And I prefer to laugh. All right. We're at the top of the round. Zenda, you are hiding on the far end of the room. You saw these demons appear. You saw them surround this guy. You saw the arcane...
Oh, wait, wasn't Lambeau taking her turn?
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Though that's right, because Lambeau is frozen. Right, we are not, in fact, yet to the end of round one. Y'all, 6 seconds have yet to pass in this combat. Here we go. Lambeau.
All right, so Lambeau's gonna say, "Thank you, Zephyr," and like looking at the old dude. Now look here, you. How about you unhump this nice house? This is not very kind of you.
I'm sorry. What?
Unhaunt.
Unhaunt. That makes more sense. Yes, go on.
Yeah. Unhaunt this nice house. And she says that she's going to be, she's going to, like, you know, like wagging her finger, it's going to turn into a chilly skeletal hand and chill touch him.
Yeah, chill touch. I love that. All right, make that attack roll.
All right. 23.
Yeah, that'll do. See, you make the rolls when they matter. You do it. I love it. All right. So 11, you said?
Yes, 11 damage.
That gets him good. And he cannot heal until the, what is it, the beginning, the end of your next turn, something like that?
I think it's either beginning or end of my next
until your next turn, which is all
until
that
my
really
next
matters.
turn. Yes.
Fantastic. All right, now 6 seconds have passed since the screens fell to the floor. Congratulations.
She will actually back. She will also back up a bit.
Excellent. Get away from those demons.
Yeah.
All right, Zenda.
Yeah.
A lot is happening very quickly.
While all this is happening, and the demons that have been summoned and the creepy blue man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he's actually blue. It doesn't matter. He looks blue to me.
Sure.
Are distracted.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to... Can I get to the other side of him? Is there space over there?
Not anymore. Not with those demons.
Oh, sure.
The demons are completely surrounding him at the moment.
Can I... Oh, do I risk it? So I'm pretty stealthy.
You can do it.
Can I run up to him and try to stab him?
I mean, no, because he's surrounded by demons.
No, can I get underneath them? Like through their legs? How big are these demons?
You're very little. That's true. They're quite small. They are, in fact, small-sized. So I don't...
I thought they were bigger.
I know.
But I'm going to shoot the thing.
Yeah, shoot the arrow. I love it.
Shoot the thing. Damn it! I was hoping they were bigger. I could get through the legs.
I know. They are small. If they were medium, I would totally let you do that because I love everything about it.
know.
But
It's okay.
that's all right.
The next demons that are summoned, can we make them bigger?
she says
level.
to Merrick. Yeah.
Oh no.
Can't wait for summon greater demons.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
So I'm gonna shoot the thing. What do I roll?
Shoot the thing. So you see on your character sheet, you've got that. You've got your bow. Oh, you don't have your bow. Hold on. Let's turn on your bow. There we go.
Where's my bow?
Short bow. So you're at a +7. So you roll d20 +7.
You got it. Typing. So sorry. So sorry.
You're good. So Zenda pulls at her. She's yelling at Merrick to get them to summon larger demons next time. She knocks the bow, fires over at the creepy figure, and gets a
22.
22. She hits. She's going to roll a d6 +4. Unfortunately, technically, those demons aren't your allies since they're hostile to everyone in the room. They just happen to be
Sure.
attacking your enemy. So you won't get your sneak
Yep.
attack, but that's okay.
That's okay. So a D6 +4.
Yes, please.
I don't think it's working anymore. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
That might be incorrect.
We are y'all. The technology today is really loving on us
really
hardcore, and I'm all about it.
Awful.
It's the fun.
Yeah, no, it's
of-
just not working
Okay,
anymore.
I'm gonna roll this one for you, and then I emailed you a new link. You got it?
I did, but I couldn't figure out how to get it to do things. It's fine. I'll figure it out.
All right, I will roll this for you for now, and then
Great.
so that is. Ooh, I rolled a 6. Congratulations, you did 10
Hey.
damage.
Nice.
Yay.
All right, and I emailed you a different Roll20 link, so use that one instead.
Yes,
Fantastic.
I shall.
All right, so Zenda fires off an arrow, smacks him straight in the shoulder. He weirdly, he doesn't, I mean, he reacts to it because it's like a heavy hit, but he doesn't grimace in pain like one might expect of someone who just got shot in the shoulder with an arrow. It's very strange and a little
Yeah, isn't he?
unsettling. I mean, I don't know. Merrick.
What was that?
I abbreviated all of your names on the initiative, and I couldn't figure out what that one said.
Mar.
Amazing.
So I have to maintain my concentration on my demon buddies. So for my action, I'm going to cast Ray of Sickness
Ooh.
on child creature.
Oh, that's delightful and dreadful at all at the same time.
That's a natural one to
Oh,
hit.
I think you hit one of the dretches.
Well, they are immune to poison, so be that way.
Excellent. So you just hit the one that's standing right in front of him square in the back. You know what? Why don't you make let's call it a wisdom saving throw for the dretch.
A 10.
A 10. So the dretch spins around and eyes straight for you, Merrick.
I am so sorry, my friend. Please turn back around and attack the other one.
I love it. Anything else, Merrick?
Nope.
All right. It is the dretch's turn. The dretches can all take their turn. They need to make, the 3 of them over there need to make Constitution saving throws once again.
That is a 19.
All right. So this time they are not, they do not get more life sucked out of them. They can all 8 take their turn. One of them is going to come charging for you, Merrick. The rest can attack the figure in the center.
Okay, so they all have multi-attack.
They do.
So
One
they-
bite and 1 claw.
So let me just do 2 rolls, one for the bite and one for the claws.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. So the bite is a
As much as I
18
love
to hit.
that'll hit. As much as I love the game breakingness of summoning multiple creatures, yes, let's just do 1 roll for each attack.
And then the claw is a 19 to
Those
hit.
both hit. So 7d. Good lord, 7d6, 14d4.
Or we could just do 3 times 7 is, so it's a his.
Oh yes, that's
3.
yes, I like that.
3 times 7 is 21 damage, and then 21 damage, and then
And
5
then 35.
times
Yeah, it's a lot of damage.
7
So
is 35. So 56 damage.
these creatures pile on to, I mean, they just hoot and holler. Go ahead, and the other one is going to run towards you, Merrick.
Yes,
And so
okay.
go ahead and roll some attacks on that one.
Oh, you want me to do separate rolls for that one?
I mean, yeah, I'll be nice.
I was gonna say take 8 damage. I'm like, I just did 55 some damage to that.
It's true.
That's a 13 to hit, so that hits me.
Great.
And then a 15 to hit.
Okay,
so
so that one runs over to you and just snips and bites
Ow,
you,
ow, I'm sorry,
claws
I'm sorry.
you. Great. Go ahead and make, I assume it's a concentration spell, so make 2 DC 10 Constitution saving throws.
And I have them at advantage.
Great. Meanwhile, the rest of the dretches just pile on top of this hooded figure, bear him to the ground, and when they finally sort of shake off and look around for their next target, there is almost nothing left of the body that was there on the ground. However, as they turn around, you see a sort of dark mist coalesce behind, or amidst, I should say, I suppose, all of the dretches. And up from the really horrible-looking, grotesque remains of that body rises this sort of black-gray smoke, this amorphous cloud of smoke that just sort of hovers above the body for a bit. It is that amorphous mist smoke's turn, and it is going to fly directly for, well, which of you is closest? I suppose it's Merrick. So Merrick, this cloud flies directly towards you, and I need you to make a charisma saving throw, please.
I did succeed on those
Excellent. Okay, great.
Just so you know.
Great.
Charisma save.
Mhm.
I get 15.
15. I don't know what the DC is. Okay, great.
Lower than 15?
Yes, I think so.
One would hope.
Excellent. So the cloud gets to you, and you hear a sort of dark, sinister laughing as it sort of engulfs you and swirls all around you. But in the end, you can feel a sort of intelligence pressing in on your mind, but you're able to shove it away, keep your sense of self, and you hear a frustrated scream come from the smoke. None of the rest of you hear any of that. Only Merrick hears that.
Merrick just like grits their teeth and is like, "Get out."
Zephyr, you are up.
Now I would like to try and do the deep dive. Can I still use my detect thoughts on this mist?
Interesting. I think it is more interesting if I say yes. So, yes, there are same sort of thought patterns, right? So you get the sense that this is the same creature that you were reading the thoughts of before. And now it is somewhat more panicked, and it is trying to figure out which of you will be least able to resist it next.
Ooh.
And it's pretty frantic. Like there's definitely an undercurrent of fear going on at this point.
I will relay to everyone. We just need to hold out and please steel your minds against this mental assault. It is going to try and I don't know, do something to your brains. But with that being said, Zenda, I've only known you a short time, but you're an amazing person and bardic inspiration.
Oh,
That's nice. Thank you. Right before she says thank you, she says, "Wait, I'm sorry. Steal our what? From what? What? Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Fortify
Wait,
your mind.
Okay. Still holding the crossbow.
okay. Lambeau, you are up.
Cool. So we didn't hear the thoughts, or well, we heard what Zephyr said, but can we see like this?
Oh, you can.
misty
Yeah, you can
form?
absolutely see it, and it's hovering right next to Merrick at this point.
Okay. Lambo will be just like, "Now look here, you smoke cloud. You stay out of our thoughts. That's not very nice." And she's going to try and do another skeletal hand at it, hoping she can hit it.
Alrighty.
I'm going to use the inspiration that's very kindly provided,
Oh, okay.
which I think is a D6.
At this
D8,
level, I think it's a D8. Yeah.
Oh, D8. Okay,
Yeah.
better. So 17.
17. I can't imagine that doesn't hit. Yes, that hits.
Cool. 9 more.
All
no
right.
healing.
I have to take a quick look, and that's necrotic. You did chill touch, right?
Yes.
So that hand passes directly through the cloud, continues
Right.
on, and sort of dissipates a few feet beyond it.
Fair enough.
Learn by experience.
Yeah.
All right, so you all watched as Lambo's very effective spell from 6 seconds earlier just passed straight through this horrible cloud. And Zenda, we are back to you.
Zenda is holding the crossbow still and is very uncertain as to what to do because I have no magical powers and I know that that's just smoke and I'm concerned. So, Zenda, can I try talking to it? Is
You
that something
absolutely can. You absolutely can. And I'm just gonna reset the stage because we've taken a few turns now to remind you all that in addition to the cloud next to Merrick, there is also a sniveling, snarling Dretch demon.
Shit, right.
And there are 7 other demons on the far side of the room who are looking for what their next meal is.
That's right.
I can't forget the demon next to Merrick.
I forgot. So I'm gonna do that.
To be
since
clear,
I
I knew.
have 0 magical powers, and Merrick, I'm determined to make them like me. I shoot the demon next to it.
I love that. Shoot that Dretch.
I'm gonna shoot it.
Shoot it.
What do I?
So same thing as before, so a d20 plus 7. That's okay.
Plus 7. Gonna get that eventually.
I know you will.
10.
No, so you just barely, as it's like hopping around trying to get its next bite in on Merrick, and it just happens to jump left and you fire right, and so the bolt whizzes right by it.
Son of a bitch. I got you, Merrick. Don't worry.
All
At least
right.
you didn't hit Merrick by accident.
It's true.
This
It's
is
true.
true.
Absolutely could have
I'm really
happened.
happy.
I love everything about it. Speaking of Merrick.
So, question.
Answer.
With summon lesser demons, it's not specified like with summon greater demon.
Uh-huh.
Summon lesser demons does not say that if I drop concentration, they stay. It doesn't say anything. So if I
Okay.
drop concentration, will it go away?
Will they go away? My guess is probably yes, but give me a moment. The DM chooses blah, 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 a summon demon or when the spell ends. So yeah, if you end the spell by dropping concentration on it, then yes. The
Okay.
group of demons is hostile. They pursue as part of, you use the blood. Blah, 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 standard material component. Yeah.
Because I'm assuming they can't attack the smoke creature because they're physical.
mean, so far it's not gone well for any of you attacking
Yes.
the smoke creatures, so.
So they serve their purpose. I'm going to dismiss them,
Okay.
and like they all ignite in flames and return to their plane.
So-
They make-
Zenda, you are sure that you missed, but all of a sudden the demon just poof, evaporates in a little tiny spray of ichor and it's just gone.
but so do the 7 others.
Yeah, well, but she's facing this one and got her back to the others, so she doesn't know that.
And then for my action, I'm going to cast a 2nd level Witch Bolt
Ooh, getting fancy.
on
Sort of.
the smoke thing.
All right.
So I need to make a spell attack.
You do. So Merrick points out his hand, and I believe you used this spell yesterday as well, last week as well.
Yes.
So a bolt of lightning arcs from their hand over to the smoke and maintains there. What'd you get?
14.
14 does in fact hit.
Oh wait, no, 17.
17 also definitely hits.
Yeah. And I do 2d12 damage. That's 7 lightning damage.
Great. And you can see the lightning arcing around this creature, this cloud of smoke, and some of it sort of just skitters around the edges and doesn't seem to really penetrate, but some of it definitely does. And you are also able to maintain that connection.
And I would like to back up with my lightning hand.
Great. So as you back up, the cloud is going to sort of lunge for you a wee bit.
Please don't hurt me.
I can make no promises. Oh no, I don't think an 8 is going to hit you. I know you're a wizard, but
Thanks. Yes, you are correct.
I like to play wizards too. All right, so it sort of lunges for you as you try and step away, but you quickly step back, and you're going the full 30 feet, because that's sort of the edge of the range of the witch bolt. Are you staying a little closer?
I'm going to go the full 30 feet
Okay.
and try to get behind people. Like, your turn to be in the front.
I love it. All right, the dretches are gone. It is this creature's turn, and it sort of seems to sort of swivel. It doesn't really have a head or a face or eyes for that matter, but you can definitely all feel that it's sort of taking each of you in turn, and it flies directly for Zenda. And Zenda, I need you to make a charisma saving throw, please.
Uh-huh. Okay. I'm losing all of my things. Okay.
So as it flies towards you, Zenda sees it coming and sort of shaking with her crossbow, and it just circles around her head, engulfing her head, and then it disappears.
Oh. Also did it wrong.
And
It
you-
disappears.
Oh, yeah. It does. It disappears. You see it sort of swirl around Zenda's head and, like, tighten in around her head, and then it's gone. Zephyr, you are up.
I still am concentrating on detect thoughts. If I use it on Zenda, can I detect this evil presence?
You sure can.
Oh no. Everyone, I think Zenda is possessed. While he's saying that, he's gonna go over to the circle and use his rapier to try and like scuff it or mess it up or what have you.
Okay, I love that. Yeah, great. Do that. Make an I think you just do it, right? It'll definitely take an action to, like, really get a good chunk out of it. So you can start on it now, and then next turn, if you want to use your action to, like, really take some gouges out, we can sort of address that then. How's that sound?
Perfect.
Great.
And he's going to kind of point over his shoulder and say, Merrick, you've really come into your own today. I'm glad to see you in your element, Bardic Inspiration.
All right. Oh. Zenda, did you give Zenda... You gave Zenda inspiration, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and we'll take a brief moment and possibly retcon. So Zenda, if you would like to try and use that D8 of inspiration to add it to your charisma save to perhaps not be possessed by this spirit, you can roll 1d8 and add it to that 9 that you rolled.
You're trying to make a good impression on us.
I kind of.
Don't
All
wanna.
right.
I kind of. All right,
I love it.
I'll
You're
do
committed to this moment.
I was put into the moment. Yes. So I would like to add it. To
All right,
this
so
thing.
just roll 1d8 then, and we'll add it to the 9 that you originally rolled for your charisma save.
Okay. 4.
Great. Now I actually have to look. Because last time, I didn't know what it was, but I knew it was less than a 15. The DC is, in fact, 13. So,
Hey, you make it.
we're going back very shortly. And we'll sort of, Zephyr, Zephyr, we'll have you take your turn again. Sorry about that, everybody. We were retconning. So we go back, and the cloud circles around Zenda's head, squeezes in, and then Zenda, you also hear a cry of frustration as you sort of hold on to your sense of self, and the cloud gets shunted off just to the side of you. So Zephyr, what are you doing on your
Oh,
turn?
demon!
Other than using the detect thoughts,
Mhm.
everything else that I did would be the same.
Okay, so do you want to use your
that's
action
the-
this turn to really scratch it out?
Yes.
Okay, I love that. Make a Constitution saving throw with advantage for me, please, as some of the power of that circle is going to feed back on you a little bit.
Not great. 12.
All right. So the circle flares as you touch it with your rapier, and before you can fully gouge out a good chunk of it, you take 4 necrotic damage, but you sort of power through and you keep going, and you're able to interrupt the circle nonetheless, and you can feel a sort of discharge of energy and power, and the glow of the circle begins to fade. It hasn't gone out completely yet, but it is definitely noticeably dimmer.
Gotcha.
Excellent. Okay, so Lambeau, you are up. You just saw Zephyr run over, gouge out. There was a burst of energy from that circle. Zenda appeared to have done the same as Merrick and threw off the dark cloud. What are you doing?
All right, seeing that, Lambo will kind of like look at the, will like look at her shoulder over at the circle and see that happens, and she's going to magic missile the circle.
Yeah, you are. Do it. Roll that damage on the circle for me.
Yep. Just trying to remember at this level it is.
What level?
It's just a first level, so
okay,
I think
so
it's
3.
3d4.
Yeah, 3d4 plus 3. That's it. So Lambeau turns around, sees this happening, fires out. Ooh, what color are they at this point?
Let's see. It's been she's kind of perturbed about all the mental things.
Totally.
So she's like, so it's kind of actually purpley. And if magic missiles could have veins, you could see like a purple throbbing vein.
So they're mood magic missiles.
Yes.
14 damage.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Okay, so this circle dims even further. You all feel a discharge of energy from it, and the two of you who have thrown off possession by the cloud hear in your heads an angry scream coming from the cloud. The other two of you don't hear it at this point. Why are none of these songs playing? I want some scary music.
And I want to remind that Merrick definitely has the Bardic Inspiration. I did also want to make sure that did happen on my turn.
Yes.
Thank
yes,
you.
definitely. What? This isn't. This is. I feel like I'm about to sing a ballad. What is this? All right, we're just going to turn this one back on. Get to the middle of it. There we go. All right. Fantastic. So that was Lambeau. Zenda, you are up. You heard this scream come from this shade beside you. What are you doing?
Okay. First of all, why are you yelling? Second of all, I want to know what it is and why it's there. Can I talk to it?
You're welcome to talk to it. Yeah,
I
absolutely.
want to talk to it.
Yeah.
Who are you and what do you want?
That face.
Who are you and what do you want?
And you hear a soft voice in your head say, "You."
No means no.
Great.
Good.
Great.
Excellent.
Anybody else hear that? Anyone else hear that?
Merrick
No.
did.
Yes, I do.
Okay, see, we're gonna be friends, whether you like it or not. So why don't you do something with your little wavy stick and make the thing go away? Use your wavy stick and make. You heard that, so you know that it wants me and/or potentially you. So if you could just.
Zenda literally, I think, just used her turn in combat to admonish the wizard for not doing enough.
I am useless against the smoke. I am useless against the smoke.
So she wants me to do a bippity boppity back to fuck off.
I want you, yes, bippity boppity, back to hell with you. I still, and because of the demons are gone. The demons are gone. I have no power here. I have nothing.
You can scratch the circle.
Y'all are doing
Lambeau just turns around.
I love how this
Great
group
job.
is like. This group is like a color swatch of cynicism.
I love it so much.
She's really still uncertain that she knows what's happening. I guess I can go scratch the circle too. I will go. So I will. Can I just stab? Can I just run into the center of it and just stab it?
Oh.
Oh no.
Everyone's like, oh, yes, absolutely you can. So, as a rogue, you can use your bonus action to disengage. So you do. So the specter, the smoke, the shade, the whatever doesn't get to swipe at you as you run away from it. You run over. You step into the circle. Its power is much diminished, but I do need you to make me a Constitution saving throw with advantage because it does still have some small bit of power left.
Constitution saving throw with advantage. +2. Okay.
As you
I'm
feel
assuming
it.
it's the D20.
Yes. Always the 20 unless it's damage or I tell you otherwise.
Got it.
Uh,
Got it.
and as you step into it, much like Zephyr, you're determined to do what you set out to do, but you feel it pulling at your life energy. You feel this pulse of magic sort of ripple through you as you step into it. All right, so that's one. That one was not bad. Roll another.
I did another one. Okay, I didn't add anything to
That's
it.
okay.
Yet.
Go ahead and roll a second one though, because you're at advantage. Although I think that's probably good enough.
Oh, great.
So what's your Constitution modifier? +2. Yeah. Okay. So you can feel it pulling at your energy, but you steel yourself. You get to the center, and you just stab right into the center of the circle. We're gonna call that this. And there is just the barest glow remaining from this circle, and again you two just
Damn
hear
it.
no from the shade in the center of the room. I did it again. Merrick.
I think it's working.
Writing your-
That's not fair. You have a backup singer. Now bring my girls in. Let's go. So after being yelled at by Zenda, Merrick is going to drop the witch bolt on the smoke cloud and focus it on the magic circle thingy and recast a second level witch bolt.
All right.
So that's a 13 to hit the circle.
Yeah, it definitely hits. Go ahead and roll that damage.
That's a 12.
All
12
right.
lightning damage on that there circle.
And that circle winks out, and there's nothing left of the circle. The dark shade is pissed. So pissed.
Oh, you're still here.
It is still there. It is very angry, and I happen to know that the remaining two of you who have not thrown off its possessions are very good at charisma saves. The Shade, however, does not know that, so it's going to try anyway. It's going to go over to... It's right. It's going to go over to Zephyr because you were the first to begin attacking his circle. So I need you to make a charisma saving throw as it circles Zephyr's head, wreathing him in darkness.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. Da 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 da. The suspense. The suspense.
25.
25. Okay. I don't even know if Zephyr notices. I feel like.
Is it windy in here?
Right?
No, Zephyr, like, he's paying attention, but he's not seeing this as like a malevolent thing. He's
Sure,
like,
sure.
I wish we could come to some kind of amicable resolution to all of this.
I love that. I love that. Amazing. Well, Zephyr, put your money where your mouth is. It's your turn.
So still concentrating on detect thoughts. Just gonna take a quick moment to see what he must be thinking. I'm sure it's mostly cussing at this point.
It is almost thoughtless panic at this point. You get, there's only one left. My circle is gone. It's almost incoherent because it is just raw animal panic at this point.
And this is an odd question, but is there any way for me to know that someone else has used my bardic inspiration?
I feel like there is. I feel like you should be able to use it again on folks who have already used it, so yes.
Miss Lambeau, I think he is trying to go for people who he's already tried to attack. Please take my inspiration. You inspire me.
Oh,
well, thank you.
Sweet baby angel. All right, Lambeau, you're. Oh, anything else, Zephyr? That was a bonus action. Oh, and you use the action to. Oh no.
Right. Well, I don't know how it works because it's an action to cast detect thoughts. So I don't know how much
So
I mean,
action bonus.
I'm gonna rule that technically, technically the first time you cast it, like you sort of shouldn't have been able to target the shade, but like it's more interesting if you did. So really, you're just maintaining this concentration on the shade, and I don't believe. I think if let's see, detect. I think it's only an action if you want to probe further action if you want to probe deeper, right?
I think so. I'll have to look at it a little bit
Initially,
more
as
closely,
an
but I
action,
don't
you can
see
shift your
anything that
attention
says-
or attempt to probe deeper. Yeah, so that's fine. We'll just say that it's just part of your concentration to continue to hear the surface thoughts.
But I will swipe my rapier in its direction, hoping to dispel it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Zephyr wouldn't see this as a violent act necessarily if we're just driving it towards.
Right, totally.
It's like a next stage in death or
Sure,
whatever.
absolutely.
24 to hit.
Oh yes, that'll do. Oh, that music was so dramatic in that moment.
10 damage.
All right. Your rapier is not, in fact, magical, as I recall, correct?
It is not.
Okay. All right. So, Zephyr waves away and he manages to slice through it, although your rapier passes through it quite smoothly, and it doesn't quite have the bite that perhaps you expected. Zenda, you are up.
What's happening? Remind me.
So you were in the center of what used to be the circle, and you can still see the circle carved into the floorboards, but it's no longer glowing at all. The dark shade is hovering next to Zephyr, who just swiped his rapier at it, and...
Did nothing.
Well, it didn't do nothing. It just, didn't do as much. But he definitely, you could definitely see that there was some resistance when he did that. So it seems like, physical weapons aren't completely useless against it.
Got it. Okay, so then I'm going to leave mine's still stuck in the floor. So I'm gonna leave that there. And I'm going to try shooting at the thing.
This is one of the things I love about Emily, and actually the whole crew that I played with when I introduced her to this game, is that they are all about like, yeah, this terrible thing happens because I think it's funnier, and I'm gonna go do something else. Like, girl, I never said a word about your sword being stuck in the floor.
I stabbed it in the. I'm just assuming it's still there.
I love it. Live your life.
I'm gonna shoot the thing.
Shoot the
With
thing.
the thing.
Dude, shoot the thing.
I'm gonna shoot the thing.
Shoot the thing. Don't roll a 1. You'll hit Zephyr.
Oh god.
It's your thing. Shoot.
I got it. I got a 9, but I add something to
You
it,
add
right?
you add 7, so 16 definitely hits. And this time you do have an actual ally within 5 feet of it, so you get to roll 4d6 plus 4 for that damage.
Oh Jesus. 4d6.
As you get your sneak attack, the shade is so distracted by your friend there, by your half-elf friend there, that you managed to get a really good shot in at a vital part of this cloud of smoke's anatomy. You know how that works.
4d6.
Oh,
I got 10.
You rolled so many ones.
So many.
That's okay. It's still 14. It's still 14 points of damage with your plus 4, which does get cut in half because of its resistance. But still, you did some damage. And this thing is Zephyr. Since we've said that it's just concentration that lets you hear its thoughts, it is becoming more and more frantic. Merrick, I did it right that time.
I haven't maintained a concentration on Switchbolt at all. It's just zap, zap, zap.
Yep.
So let's just redirect the zappy zap.
Zappy zap.
Back towards the cloud. I'm going to do a first level Witch Bolt.
All right, do the thing.
That's 16 to hit.
So these are just lightning bolt.
Lightning bolt.
Oh, the camera's over here. I keep forgetting that my phone is my camera, so I'm like staring at you all and realizing that I'm not looking at the camera.
That's a 5 damage, 5 lightning damage.
5, all right. And the arc once again connects to the shade. It is the shade's turn. And it has no choice but to attempt to possess Lambeau. And so over to Lambeau it flies now. Zephyr, in theory, you could take an attack of opportunity if you would like.
Yes, I would like.
Do that.
very much like to do so.
Yeah. As it flies away, Zephyr turns and attempts to thrust and parry, and not parry, that doesn't make sense. Is that a 6? No.
Presuming an 18 hits,
Yes,
I
it
deal
does.
6 damage.
All right.
Or that's the total before
Right,
resistance.
right. So you just hear a sort of grunt and scream of frustration as it then flies towards Lambeau. And Lambeau, make me that charisma saving throw.
No. Like I said,
boy.
it could happen.
It could.
Even with inspiration, that's still not for one.
So technically there are no crit fails on saving throws. I apply them to ability checks because I think it's more fun for crits and crit fails on ability checks, but not for saves. So if you want to use the inspiration to bump that up, although you'll have to. So that's 13, which I think is the DC,
save.
so I think you're fine. Yep. That inspiration is clutch.
It's good.
All right, so Lambeau throws off, it worms in, and you begin, you think for a moment, and then you feel this shade try and take control of your arms, and you clamp down on it and force it out of your mind. Now you can all hear it just shrieking in frustration and fear. Zephyr, you're up.
All right. So Zephyr will just bound over to it once more and attempt to give a dramatic thrust into the creature. Presuming a 17 hits.
It does indeed.
7 damage.
All right. So more dramatic thrusts at this thing, and you all are beginning to feel a bit more confident as the shade panics and becomes surrounded. Lambeau. Anything else, Zephyr?
No, not for the moment.
Okay.
Except Zephyr will speak at the creature and just say, "This could have gone so much more differently. We did not have to be your enemies," and then that's it.
All right. I love that. I gotta think about that for a minute. Lambeau, you're up in the meantime.
All right. Lambeau, not happy, tried to get in everybody's mind. Now look here, you. I said stop haunting this house, and it appears we're gonna have to do this the hard way. And so she's gonna prep up her first level magic missiles, but instead of them all shooting out at once, she's actually gonna grab her in her hand, form it like an orange-colored broom, and swat at the thing.
Oh my god, I love that so much. Yes, absolutely, you do that.
Yes, orange room.
Yes.
Yes.
Roll that damage. Yes, I love it. Oh, such creativity.
And didn't roll that well.
Well, okay. So many ones, but there's a 4 in there. All right, so what is that? 9, because it's +3, right?
So it's 10 all day. Is it plus? Oh, no, sorry, it's +3, so it is 9.
Yeah.
My bad.
Excellent, that's all right. All right. So this broom really takes a good swipe at it. Unlike pretty much anything else you've thrown at it so far, it seems to not be able to resist any of this. Tears a good chunk out of it. It manages to reform some of it, but it is beginning to look smaller. The shade begins to look smaller than it did before. And Zenda, you are up.
All right. I'm going to wrench my sword out of the floor.
Excellent.
I'm going to do that. And is it close enough to me that I can run, jump off of Lambeau's back and swipe at it in a dramatic fashion?
Yes, make an acrobatics check, Zenda. Lambeau, make a strength saving throw, please.
Okay.
We're gonna get Lambeau's first, because that will determine the DC of Zenda's acrobatics check.
6?
Oh no!
So Zenda, you run over and try and leap off, and at the last minute you're like, this might have been a thing I should have warned her about, and she just flattens to the ground.
Ow.
So your 11 on your acrobatics, Zenda, is enough to keep you from also landing on the ground, although the jump is significantly less graceful than you would have liked. It's more sort of like an unexpected leapfrog.
Yes.
But you can make your attack roll normally. So go ahead and roll an attack now to swing your rapier at the thingamajiggy.
Okay.
Poor Lambeau.
Just
This party is clearly split in half. And it's amazing. You-
and do I add something to that?
You do, but you switch the slash and the R.
yeah, slash R.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I was like, didn't even-
What's happening? Oh no, it's just okay. I just love everything about this combat.
go.
I'm so excited about it. 14 plus 7 is 21. You hit. You have a
Yay.
friend nearby, so you can roll 1d8 plus 3d6 because you're using your rapier this time.
1d8.
Plus 3d6 plus 4, technically.
Oh my god, do I type all that in?
Yes.
Yeah.
It'll do it. Oh, you can. You don't have to, but it'll do it all for you if you do.
Plus 3d6 plus what?
4.
Plus 4.
Yes, there it is. 18. Nice. 18 damage, which does a total of 9 damage. So you stab right into the center of this thing, and you hear this awful scream, and the shade sort of coalesces and tightens around your rapier, and then sort of slides off of it and wobbles very sort of unsteadily. Let me have, at this moment, let me have wisdom perception checks from everyone, please.
Oh, good. I love perception. 4.
Good. You're very distracted by the, yes, natural 20.
I do have a halfling on my back.
You do. All right. How about you, Merrick?
9.
Okay. Zenda? Oh, I'm not looking. Sorry. Zenda got a 10 plus something. Oh, no, plus 3. You already did it. Yes, okay, excellent. So 10. So Zenda, you think you hear something, but really the only person who hears it clearly is Zephyr. You hear it's a strange sound that you eventually realize is like a soft set of hands clapping, and the walls of this bedroom begin to glow a sort of pinkish, purplish hue. And
mood magic is my thing. TM. Do not steal.
Which of you dreamt? Zephyr, was this what? Zephyr, what did you dream about?
I believe I dreamed about the house. I think I dreamed about there being like a woman or a child who is calling for help.
Okay, Lambeau, what did you dream about?
I think I dreamt about the house, but I couldn't actually make out what was said, so I'm not sure if I differentiated between types of voices.
Okay, great. Did one of you? So, I think one of you dreamt about a little girl.
That was me.
That was you. What? Did you just dream about everything?
Yeah, that's why I couldn't sleep.
Right.
I got really vivid dreams.
Right. I should write these things down. It's fine. You all remember. So this glow on the walls begins to flicker and shift, and it begins to look a bit like flame. And it is the same hue as that fire in your dream, though no heat is coming from it. And through one of the walls steps a figure that you all recognize as the little girl from the family paintings downstairs. And she is the one that is applauding, and she smiles as she walks towards you all. And she walks next to Zenda, and she says, do you mind? And she just sort of motions for you to move to the side a little bit.
Zenda looks at Merrick and says, "You can have this room," and steps this room.
Also, I noticed that you looked down, but let's be very clear, Little Miss Halfling.
You're right.
You are not looking down at nobody.
You're right. Eye
So
level.
Zenda sort of steps aside, and the little girl steps into the center, and she smiles, and this shade is still sort of writhing and rolling around in the air, and she smiles, and she says, "At long last." And she holds up her hand, and she sort of grabs the shade out of the air, and she pulls it down, and she looks at it, and she says, "Goodbye," and squeezes, and her hand erupts in that purple flame, and you all hear one last scream come from the shade as it sort of snuffs out in her hand, which she then slowly lowers. And she turns to look at all of you and she says, "You all did so good. Thanks for that."
So this was a test?
I wouldn't call it a test. I don't like tests. Tests are boring and hard. I would say you helped me out. I couldn't have done that. I've tried for a long time. I just needed people like you to give it a good start so I could finish it off.
Who was that?
I never knew his name. He came and visited our house, a long time ago now. But there was something creepy about him. I didn't like him. I didn't like him at all. So I got rid of him. But he wouldn't leave. And he got very, very angry. And we've been fighting ever since.
Who set the house on fire?
Yes, it continues to sort of faux burn around you. She says, "Oh, that was him. He was very mad at what I had done."
If I may interrupt, I apologize for my lack of manners. Zephyr walks over to the girl and extends his hand. I don't know if you can shake my hand, but my name is Zephyr Stewart. What is your name?
She sort of giggles, and she has like a fun smile on her face, and she like goes to reach for your hand and shake it, and it passes straight through yours. And she giggles again, and it's cold and not entirely pleasant, I have to say. But there is some substance to it. Like, you definitely feel a bit of resistance, but she certainly can't grab it, or doesn't grab it. And she giggles, and she says, "My name is Reese Brenner."
Well, it is a pleasure to meet you, Reese. And he'll go, maybe a fist bump is more appropriate.
And she sort of nods, and she like screws up her face like she's concentrating really hard, and she fist bumps you, and you actually feel that. Like, it's fairly solid,
wow.
even though it's very brief.
But Zephyr will then step back and allow the others to introduce themselves.
Reese, it's just you here.
She says, "It is now."
And was that you with the imp and the rug and the pots and pans as well?
Yeah, sorry about that. No, that wasn't me. Sort of. It's a long story, but those were little experiments of mine. Different things I tried to get rid of him. They didn't work, and I guess I just forgot to get rid of them. Sorry.
Does that mean the cutlery will no longer attack us?
No, silly. Now that I know you're here and you've helped me, I'll make sure the house behaves.
Okay. Why did that closet not attack at all?
She says, "What closet?"
My bedroom. My Nintendo.
My room.
My room. We cleaned it. You're welcome. What's that room about? Is there?
She says,
Feels different.
I don't know what room you're talking about.
Did anybody do any changes to this house since you became like this?
She says, not that I know of, but I mean, people have come and gone over the years. I guess I wasn't keeping track of all of them all the time, but not that I remember.
I mean, there wasn't a handle on the door. How did they get in?
Oh, same way as you. They heard the cries for help. The ones that didn't do so well, the ones that he got. That's what he used to lure people here. It's been going on for a long time. I was surprised to see you all, actually. It's usually, well, less capable people than you all.
Yes, our organization tends to specialize in these types of dealings. We were offered this home as our residence. I hope that doesn't interfere with your plans.
She sort of thinks for a minute, and she says, "Well, I don't know who offered you my house. I really shouldn't have done that. At least not without asking. But, I mean, I wouldn't mind having some company. So, how about I offer you my house? That feels better.
Cool. So we can live here? You're cool with that?
Yeah, I'd love that. Then I can finally have some people that aren't him to talk to.
We accept graciously.
Oh, good.
Again, I just wish to confirm no furniture or cookery will attack us again.
She nods very solemnly and she puts her hand over her heart and she says, I promise that no furniture or cutlery will attack you again.
Or Reese.
Oh, you mean me? Yeah, I won't attack you either. Why would I attack my friends?
Just clarifying.
All
Do I
right.
check the closet room for nothing? Now that nothing is going to attack anything. You know what? That doesn't matter. I'm so curious about my closet room. Do you want to come see it? Do you just go through the walls, or do you want to follow us? I'm just.
She laughs and she says, I mean, I can go through the walls, but that sort of got boring after, a couple of decades of doing it. So I'll follow you, but I really don't know what closet you're talking about.
I want you to see it because I want you to let us know what the deal is. If you remember it, I don't know how long you've been
Like this.
part of other planes, but wondering if you could come let us know about this space.
Okay, sure.
I will lead the way down back to my closet room.
As you all go out, Reese just continues to talk, and she sort of stops at the door, and she turns around and she goes, so can we make a deal since you all are going to be staying here for a little while?
Sure.
I will keep things neat and tidy, but when there's big messes like that, and she points at the half-eaten corpse in the corner that was originally possessed by the Shade and then was eaten by demons, that's harder for me to deal with. So, can you guys clean that up when we get done?
Eric would be happy
Certainly.
to. Let's continue.
Not it. Not it.
By the way, at some point, Zafir will apologize for the rest of the groups in politeness and introduce them to Reese.
Fantastic. She will go around and say her name to all of you. Reese Bernaire, nice to meet you. Reese Bernaire, nice to meet you.
Hi, Reese.
So you take, I mean, it's not very far, right? You go out of the room and down the hallway a little ways. And what do you do?
We go back through the door and into the closet space.
So as soon as you reach for the door knob of the closet space, she starts to laugh. And you're not really sure why. Like, she just starts to giggle.
I take my hand off the handle.
Okay.
Because I've had bad experience with the giggling
Uh-huh.
thus far. Hey Reese, what's so funny?
She said, well,
what are you laughing at?
What are you doing?
This is the room I'm talking about. This is the room that we came in and we cleaned it.
You're so silly. That's just a wall.
This
Oh,
No. We went in. This is the right door, right? Guys, is this?
Linda, it appears we were incorrect. Why don't we just move on from the wall?
Yeah, let's.
Make me a
Let's do
charisma
something
deception check, please, Lambo.
Sure. I can do that.
I know you can. That's why I'm not worried about it.
As long as I don't roll a 1. Oh, that's what it is. Oops. Oops. Come on!
Oh no!
Wait, I got re-inspired.
You did get re-inspired.
Aha!
Ha ha!
All right. So she's like, you guys, you folks are weird. You're silly.
It comes with the job. And looking at and Limbo's just clearly looking at Zenda's just like.
Zenda picks up on it and says, "You know what? I had a little too much to drink last night. I showed up late. I was a little hungover. I think I thought it was something else. So we'll just what do you guys want to do? What do y'all want to do now? Want to explore the rest of the house? What are we doing?
Well,
We already explored the rest of the house.
Well, maybe we
Is that
can.
it?
Zenda did not
Maybe
see
we
the rest of
should
the house.
ensure Reese takes us around and see if there's any more experiments she needs to dismiss.
I like the way you think, Lambo.
I do too. Thank you.
All right, so you all can sort of go back through the house. It's pretty much as you all left it. Nothing flies out and attacks you in any of the rooms. Reese, in a couple of the rooms, she clearly, feels very comfortable in these rooms. In the bedroom, the children's bedroom, she sort of races over and sort of looks at the toy chest and jumps on the bed a few times. In the library, she jumps into one of the big overstuffed armchairs and like curls up in it and looks very content and happy there. But yeah, nothing comes out to get you all at any point.
And is that wood smoke smell still around?
It is, yeah. It seems to be pretty pervasive, pretty permanent.
So as we're going, Lambo will be like, Reese, I'm just a little curious.
Yeah.
Are you doing some sort of optical illusion thing? Because I smell smoke, but I don't see burning.
She says, yeah, I'm gonna work on that. It's not me, it was him. When he burned the house down, it sort of the smell wouldn't go away, and I've tried everything I can think of. I can't make it go away. It's I don't know. I guess it's like the house can't forget it, so it's not letting me forget either.
So the furniture isn't gonna suddenly turn to dust if we sit on it?
She says, well, I don't think so. Sit carefully the first time?
Merrick, you're an expert on chairs. How about you try it?
At that Snyder mark, Merrick's gonna walk out of the room and leave the group.
Oh.
I was complimenting you. Fine, whatever.
I'm determined to make him like me. He's gonna like
They're gonna like you.
They're gonna like me. Sorry, they're gonna like me. They sure are.
They are.
I can't speak to Kyle liking you or not. What was that,
love
Lambo?
everyone.
Sorry.
I'm a very lovable person.
What was that, Lambo? I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
Oh, she was just talking to Zinda. Like, they are quite the personality.
That they are. That they are.
It's okay. Reese, who was that guy? You keep saying him and that he showed up, but do you know who he was?
She says, not really. It's kind of a long story, but I can tell you the whole thing if you want.
Yes, please.
Mm-hmm.
She nods.
Including how you tried to get rid of him initially.
She says, "Ooh, that's an even longer story, but yeah, I'll give you the highlights."
Sure.
She says, so a long time ago, like a bunch of years ago, like I've lost track. It's been, I don't know. I stopped counting at 100, so more than 100. My family came here, to this place. There wasn't anyone else here back then. And we decided that we wanted to start a town. And we had some friends that came with us, and it was their family and my family. And we saw this land, and Daddy said that the ground was fertile and the hill was high, and this is where we would start our lives anew. And so we did, or we sort of tried. We built houses. This one and the Havertons had a house not too far from here. And we planted fields, and we did everything we could. And we were fine, but nobody else seemed to think that it was a fun place to live. So nobody joined us here. And Daddy was getting frustrated, and Mr. Haverton was getting frustrated because they wanted to build a town and found a new place to live, and nobody wanted to live here. And then one day, a man came through, and he was tall, and he had a cloak and a great big staff, and he scared me. He didn't feel right from the very start. So when I saw him coming up the path and up the hill, I ran away and hid. I had a place out in the woods that I liked to go when I wanted to be alone, and I would go out and I would catch rabbits and squirrels and other little animals so that we could have meat for dinner. So I would go out and I would do that, and I would bring them back. And my family always sort of got worried about me when I would disappear, and then when I would come back with these animals, they would be even more worried. And I don't know, I think I scared them, but I don't really understand why. Anyway, I'm sorry, I got distracted.
Just for a second. So this is in character, but so mentally Lambo's gonna to Zephyr be mentally just be like, can you check on the truthfulness of what she's saying? And again, this is all mentally, not out loud.
Yeah, totally. Oh, I
'Cause
forgot you
feel
had
like-
the telepathy. Yeah.
Let me see what the duration is on detect thoughts, because I don't know. I would have to recast it.
Sure. It is 1 minute.
Yeah, so I definitely would have had to recast it. Zephyr might like poke his head out of the room and cast a spell so as not to be like doing it in front of her, because he's probably gonna do all this.
Sure.
Yeah.
She's pretty deeply concentrating on the story at this point too, so that's totally fine.
So yeah, he will recast it and attempt to then detect her thoughts as she is giving this story.
It's very strange. The thoughts that you get are unlike anything you've experienced before. There is a childishness to her thoughts, of a simplicity, and sort of when she speaks, she sort of conjures these vivid images of what she's talking about. But there is also a sort of depth and an age and a wisdom. This girl is a little girl who has seen some shit, right? Which you sort of already knew, right? She said she's been around in one form or another for a long time, but it's jarring because the two sort of natures are both very present in her thoughts at any given moment. She's focusing pretty closely on everything that she is saying, and like I said, conjuring up sort of vivid visual images of all of it. You don't get any sort of feelings of deception, or like she's thinking about like, you sort of have to concentrate when you lie, particularly if you're lying well, to sort of pepper in the truth. You don't sort of get any of that split attention in her thoughts. So either it's a very well rehearsed lie, or, she's just telling a story like a kid would tell a story.
If I can relay that quietly, mentally to Lambo, I would do that.
Can they respond? I asked you this last week, and I don't remember the answer.
I think we just decided
You
that
said
they
you
could
can?
respond.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Great. So anyway, so she gets distracted, and she says about how her family would be sort of afraid of her when she would bring these animals back for some reason that she didn't really understand. But she said, anyway, so I wasn't around when he first met Daddy and Mr. Haverton, but when I finally came back that night with some food, with some animals for dinner, he was still here. And they had told him that he could stay with us. And I asked Daddy why, and Daddy kind of got upset because I was being rude. But he said that this man, in exchange for staying with us, was going to go and tell the whole world about our town, so that people would come here and live here, and we would have friends and neighbors and everything that Daddy and Mr. Haverton wanted. But I don't know, I didn't like him. There was something weird and creepy about him. Anyway, so he stayed that night, and he stayed a few more nights. And one day, on the third day that he was here, I followed him. He would leave the house and usually not be around until dinner every night. And so I followed him into the woods, and I watched him as he did some really scary stuff. He caught an animal, but not like I would catch them. He did something to it, and I don't know. I didn't want to watch too closely, but it made me sure that I was right, that there was something wrong with him. So that night I decided that if no one else was gonna protect our family, then I had to protect our family. So I made a choice. And that night, after the creepy old man went to sleep, I snuck into his room, and I I did what I did to the animals that I would catch for dinner. And I got rid of him. But it didn't work, or at least it didn't work like it does with the animals. And so he was still here, kind of, and oh, was he mad. He was so mad at me and at Daddy for letting me get rid of him like that. And so he tormented us for the rest of the night and the next day, and we didn't know what to do, and then he burned the house down. And I don't like to think about that part, but anyway, I woke up and the house was here, and it smelled like smoke, but it wasn't burned down. I tried to go outside, but I couldn't. I could just look through the windows, and I could see Mr. Haverton and the rest of his family, and they were looking at the house and looking really sad, but I couldn't totally understand why. Anyway, they turned around and they walked away, and I never saw them again. And I guess I've been up here ever since. Sometimes people come up and look at the house, and if I go all the way up to Daddy's and Mommy's bedroom and look out the windows, I could sometimes see the town that's down at the bottom of the hill now, but I could never go visit it in person. So, yeah. And I've lived here with him ever since, and he did all kinds of scary things. He would lure people to the house with those whispers like you all, except usually they couldn't defeat him, and he would fight them, and he would capture them, and then he'd put them in that creepy circle, and he'd take their lives and energy, and he would possess them and use them as physical bodies for himself and for his creepy experiments. And I don't know, sometimes I would just hide from him, sometimes I would try and fight him, but I could never get rid of him, and he couldn't get rid of me either, so there. Lately, I don't know, he started talking about all kinds of weird things, about how he needed to protect his town, and protect his investment, and something about, I don't really know. I didn't understand any of it, but it sounded like he was worried about something that was coming to take everything away from him. I don't know. It didn't make any sense to me, but more and more people kept coming to the house more and more often, and then you all showed up.
Okay. That is quite the tale.
Oh my.
Sorry I had to relive some bad stuff.
It's okay.
Do you mind if I take a peek outside?
Sure.
Speaking of which, that's what Merrick was doing while they were doing that.
Yes, so I was about to hop over there to you. So 1 second, the three of you. And Merrick, what were you doing? You went outside.
So as soon as they went out, they were talking to her. I was gonna walk outside and walk the perimeter of the building and check out and see if I could because the second floor was only that one closet in that one room. I'm trying to see if in relation there's supposed to be more, or if there's anything else outside that they can see.
Sure. Make me so you can, first of all, I should mention that you can open the door totally freely and walk outside with no problem.
Sure.
Make a, gosh, I don't know. We'll call it intelligence investigation, I guess. Sort of feels right to me.
That's a 13.
You're not sure, but you think that maybe the dimensions inside the house feel like they don't quite match the dimensions on the outside. We're not talking TARDIS level spatial warping, but
yeah.
Somehow they don't match. They feel like two different structures to you in some small ways. But in terms of the specifics of what should go where, you're not real sure.
Mm-hmm. All right, that's what all I was doing was walking around and trying to look at the house and to see how that relates.
Great.
So if Lambeau wants to join me.
So we'll hop back in then. So Lambeau, you're gonna take a peek outside.
Yep.
All right. So you open the door and poke your head out, and it's daytime at this point. It's full day by now, mid to late morning probably at this point. Yeah.
All right. Lambeau Then, close the door back in, look at Reese and asks, so you stayed around, and obviously the bad man did. Did your parents move on?
She said, yeah, I I still feel bad, but I never, it took me a few days, to notice that they were gone. I was so busy, trying to scare the bad man out of the house. And then one day I went to look for them, and I realized that I hadn't seen them since, that night. And I don't know what happened to them. I guess they moved on. I don't really know.
Since the bad man is gone, do you think perhaps you'd want to move on, reunite with your family?
I think maybe one day I would like that, but well, it's been so long since I got to just be here in this house and enjoy it without him here, and now I have met you all, and you've been so nice to me, and you helped me get rid of him. I'll stick around for a little while at least, if that's okay with you. Plus,
Right.
I'm a little curious what he was talking about his coming. If he didn't like it, it can only be good. Maybe he met you all.
Perhaps.
But he sends the dreams to people he wants to lure in, right?
Oh, right. That's a good point.
And did we know of anything coming to this town in particular, or?
I'm sorry, I just noticed, and I don't know how long this has been true, but I just noticed that Emily and Kyle are in the wrong boxes on the overlay.
Oh no.
Are we? Wait, let me see.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
fine. It's too late now. You all are staying there for a little while. It's fine. I'll move it later.
Love it.
I'm good at tech. Sorry, what was that last question, Lembo? I was distracted.
Do we know of anything particular big coming to the town? Like, we were there, but was anything else?
You didn't see anything. Certainly nobody down in town that you interacted with said anything about it. You still really have no idea why you all were sent out here either. Other than, the soldiers of Acheron were trying to get rid of you. But
Yeah.
they told you that there was a request for an investigation, but nobody in town seemed to know what that was, or nobody knows anything about it. So, make of that what you will.
Well, now I'm not sure what he was talking about, but for now, we've at least figured out what's going on. And was there just the parents' room? Like, how many bedrooms are actually in this house?
As far as you could see, there were 2 bedrooms. There was that master bedroom, and then there was the kids' bedroom that Zephyr was in. And that bedroom actually had 2 beds. She hasn't mentioned anything about a sibling, but there was a little, I think it was a little boy in one of the paintings that you all found, if I remember correctly. Or anyway, there should have been. If I didn't say that, there was.
Just so Lambo, thinking about that, will just be like, so did your brother move on too? Did he also help you hunt stuff?
She said no. He was he was always the most scared of me, and I guess that was kind of my fault. I like to tease him. There we go. But yeah, I guess he moved on with Mom and Dad.
Well, I for one am elated at the opportunity to get to know you. I hope that we are able to do so over the next, I suppose however much time we end up spending here.
She says, me too, and however much time I decide to spend here.
Fair enough.
Reese,
Yeah.
first of all, I am so sorry at my impolite behavior earlier. I was a little run down from the fight. It was a little exhausting. I did not go for my friend Lambo here. I do feel bad.
That was not
about
nice.
myself. I do. I'm sorry. I thought it was gonna help me get a top swipe, and it just didn't work out the way I
Warning, perhaps.
intended. Next time, I will yell duck, and we'll work that out. We'll work that out. Reese, you've been so brave. You have been so brave, and I am just curious about a couple of things.
Yeah.
One, are
Yeah.
you able to take me to and or tell me where the bad man used to go into the woods? And also, what were the differences between what he did to the animals and what you did to the animals?
She says, well, for your first question, I can't take you there because I can't leave the house, but I can try and tell you where it is. It's
would be
just
great.
behind the house, a little ways down the hill. If you just sort of walk straight from the back of the house down the hill and into the woods, just keep walking and you'll know when you're there.
Okay.
And she said, I mean, what I would do to the animals, I don't know. I would just, we needed them to eat, and so I used magic to kill them. I don't really know how I did it, because he used to use all kinds of crazy complicated books and markings and letters and runes and things, and I never used any of that. I just did it. I don't know. I think that's why my parents were kind of afraid of me. I also think maybe it's why I'm still here. I don't really understand any of it, even after all this time, to be honest.
Did you notice any like patterns when you would use your magic? Like, for example, would it happen when you were angry, when you were sad, when you were excited?
I feel very attacked.
This isn't about you, Lambo. Give me a second.
She says, I mean, my parents used to tell me that I had to sort of be extra careful when I would get mad, particularly when I would get mad at my brother. But no, I am, at least as long as I can remember, I was pretty in control of it. I just didn't really understand where it came from.
Okay.
Or why it came from. Or who it came from, or when it came from, or where it came from. Wait, I said where already.
That's okay. That's okay. I like that you know all the questions. Great. Well, I'm gonna go check out the space in the woods.
Yeah.
Real quick. I'm gonna go. I'll be right back though. Don't
Okay.
go anywhere.
No, yeah, I can't. That's.
Linda, wait, don't go alone. And Lambo will hurry after.
She'll wave at you too and say, I'll still be here. It was a little bit of a hateful joke, but okay. Saphir, how about you?
Actually, Zafir will look over to Reese. Miss Reese, is that okay for me to call you Miss Reese?
That's so fancy, but sure.
I suppose I will stay here. It would be terribly dreadful to leave you alone after all this time that you've been. So I will allow my friends to go as they are accompanied, and I will stay to accompany you.
Great. Okay. Well, since you're gonna stay here with me, why don't we figure out what we're gonna do with the house? I mean, it's been my house for a long time, and it's just been me and him. But now that you guys are here, maybe we can spruce it up and change things around for you guys so that you all feel at home too.
I love it. Let us get to it.
Great. She's very excited. Oh no. Zenda and Lambeau walk outside, and Merrick will say that you are sort of completing a circuit and see them coming out of the house at this point.
How did your interrogation of the child go?
Oh my god.
Why must you use such language?
Sorry, conversation with the child.
That's better. We'll get you there. Anyway. We found out how this house came to be like this, and there's definitely something odd going on, though I'm sure you figured that out already.
Oh, yes. I was looking around the perimeter of the building. It seems that whatever that room upstairs or the entire structure of the building is a little off, to say the least.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Linda said, I don't trust any of it, and has continued to walk, waiting whether or not you know with you or not.
Where are you going?
Lambo will just hurry on, just like, come on, Merrick.
Where is she going?
Down. That's where.
Well, I guess we're going down. I don't know where.
I'm gonna go look at the place where the bad man did the thing.
Oh,
The what?
No.
She yells.
Okay.
Continues walking.
The
Terrible.
bad man did what thing?
He did some ritualistic sacrifice things apparently while he was still alive.
Well, it's just a Tuesday now, isn't it? Let's go.
All right. So you all head down that hill, and you cross, if you remember, and by if you remember, I mean to inform you, Emily. So the top of the hill is completely empty except for the house. But about 300 feet from the house, a tree line starts, and it's sort of like a perfect circle around the top of the hill. So it's a little unnatural looking, but anyway. And the trees start, and then you just start walking through the woods. It gets noticeably darker underneath the canopy of the trees, although now it's full day, so there is some light that manages to trickle through the branches. And you walk for just a couple of minutes, and you can see then in the distance ahead of you a real ramshackle makeshift kind of hut that looks like it's been built out there. And it's the first sort of noticeably different thing that you all have run across at this point.
All right. I guess this might be the place. Why don't we go take a look?
Yeah. I don't believe we'll have any issues getting in, seeming that he is gone. Should be safe to enter. But
Just in case, I'm gonna just do a quick wide circle around the hut, just to check. I just want to just give it a quick surveillance.
I love that.
Real quick.
Go ahead and give me a let's say a wisdom perception check as you go around.
Okay. I'm assuming it's the 20.
Yes, always the
No.
20.
Yes, always the 20. I just like to double check. Okay.
7 plus 4 is 11. You don't notice anything. It's pretty quiet, maybe a little unnaturally so, but that was the case also when you walked up the hill. On the other side of the hill, you walked up the same trail that the rest of the party came up the day before. And it was pretty unnaturally quiet coming up that side too, so you're not super surprised necessarily. But yeah, you don't notice anything else.
Okay. All right. Let's go in.
Finish your circuit, get back to them, say all is clear, and that way you head.
All
Get up,
right.
and this thing is even more ramshackle than you realized from any sort of distance. It is, the door sort of sits unevenly in the frame. The boards and the logs that sort of make up the walls themselves are like not well fitted together, so there are chinks and holes in the walls. You can sort of push open the crappy uneven door and see inside. It's just like a dirt floor, nothing at all fancy, but you can see also inside a few things. Immediately noticeable is that there's a little hearth on one wall, a hearth is generous, it's more like a fire circle sort of inside this house, and there's a little cutout in the ceiling above it that sort of must have acted as some sort of really shitty chimney or something. More noticeable than that, though, are the walls. They are covered completely with rows and rows of shelves that are chock full of trinkets and knickknacks and little items and books and scrolls and all kinds of stuff like that. The other thing that you notice is there are all over the floor, there are markings, sigils, and runes. Clearly magical in nature, although many of them have been sort of scuffed out by walking over. None of them look like they're active or like they're forming complete circles or anything, but clearly this floor has been used over the years over and over to create various magical circles and things like that.
All right. Do any of you recognize any of these symbols?
I would like to look at them.
You certainly can with an Arcana, Intelligence Arcana, if you'd like.
That's a 15.
Woo, magic check. All right, 15 and a 19 for Lambeau. Yeah, so both of you definitely, just sort of looking at them in aggregate as a whole, realize that the vast majority of them are necromantic in nature in one way or another. Lambeau, you sort of see some interesting patterns And, like I said, they're all sort of scuffed up and they've been erased and redrawn and all that over the years. But you begin to see a little bit of a pattern in a few places where you can tell that in and amongst the necromantic symbols are symbols of binding, symbols of sort of storing and binding and containment and things like that.
Ooh.
That fella dumb enough to mess with necromancy, and I'm assuming binding perhaps some sort of demon or devil. I always forget the difference.
There's a vast difference.
I didn't say there wasn't. I said I forget the difference.
Well, I'll educate you later.
Oh.
No, you won't. I won't listen.
Oh, Lord.
I love it. So what are we doing inside here? Anything else?
I think Lambo would probably check out one of the books.
Sure.
You said they're,
Sure.
and everything.
Let's see. So, any of the books that are in there, why don't you roll a percentile for me, if you would?
Oh, okay, so just D100.
Yeah.
I like books.
D100.
You want to look at books too?
Yeah.
All right, roll me percentile as well, Merrick. How about you, Zenda?
I'm gonna look at the trinkets.
Yeah, do the same. Roll me
Something
D100.
valuable. I'm sorry, roll what?
1D100.
Got it.
I got a 67.
All right, and 79. Okay, fantastic. Oops. Okay, so Lambeau, you, let's see here. Okay, great. Lambeau, you got an 80, 70, what? 79.
I got the 79.
Great, 79. So you grab a book, and the book that you grab is, you start flipping through it, and, if you want to take some time to really study it more closely, that's fine. But
Sure.
it's pretty obvious pretty quickly that it's not a very large book, and it is a handwritten, sort of a little bit slapdash, basically like lichdom instruction manual, or at least part of one. It looks like, anyone who's dabbled in any sort of magic, and particularly you all who are part of monster hunting organization, know, and I should clarify this just in case any of their viewers are curious, of course, that a lich is, right, a wizard who has released his their mortal coil, and become a very powerful undead caster. And this
Yes.
book in particular is about the part of the ritual that binds the wizard's life force to their phylactery, which is the item that holds their soul after death. That's what this particular book is about. Merrick, the book that you grabbed is 69, you said?
67.
67, okay, same. So the book that you grab is sort of an interesting treatise. Again, you can look more closely at it given more time, but a quick glance through it sort of tells you that this one is about potions of longevity, which are sort of, at this point in the world, they're almost... many people maybe believe they're more myth than reality, but the stories go that these potions are what particularly powerful wizards can create to keep them alive longer than their normal lifespan would be.
This man was not keen on death, no, was he?
Both of those books, I should say, have hand-scrawled annotations as well in many of the margins, but we can talk about that later.
Sectum Sempra.
Sectum Sempra.
Sectum
You all are ridiculous. I love it. What did you roll, Zenda? You got an 81.
80
Excellent.
fun.
So you're sort of looking through all the things on the walls, on the shelves, and you just happen to like the thing that catches your attention most closely is a little silver snuff box. It looks like, actually, just like a little silver case. And you open it up, it's empty. On the surface of it is a little inscription that just says dreams.
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 Okay. it's empty on the inside, which means I opened it already, correct?
Yes, I decided that for you. I apologize.
No, it's okay. Just nothing happened. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Make sure
Yes.
Great. Can either one of you tell me if this has got any magical?
Do either of you know detect magic or identify? I haven't even looked. Awesome.
Nope.
I love it.
Not my forte.
Totally fine.
Oh, same here.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say, it's like, do you guys know the sweet one? Okay. So you guys said no. Great. I'm just gonna stand here and look at it then.
Not the thing.
Keeping it, putting it in my backpack.
I love it. All right, so while you three are exploring this little shack, we're gonna hop back into the house with Zephyr and Reese. What are some of the things that hey, that was a thing that I didn't see, because we got an anonymous cheer. Just gave us a cheer. We appreciate it, anonymous cheer. Thank you for that. Oh, what was I saying? Oh, Zephyr and Reese, what have you all talked about? Give us a quick little rundown of some of the ideas you have for the house.
Yes. I suppose that I will work in conjunction with Reese and see what ideas she has. But if nothing else, I will make sure that we secure living spaces for each of us. And then Zephyr will do what he can to make the common areas more cheerful. So if we can get rid of things that maybe harken back to some bad memories or any kind of influence from the bad man whose name I don't think we ever found out, he will do so. And in fact, probably the first thing Zephyr will do is get rid of that half-eaten body and see if there's any way to identify who that possibly could have been. I'm almost concerned that it may have been like whatever handler was supposed to meet us here, which would explain a thing or two.
Oh, interesting. I will buy either intelligence investigation or I don't know, wisdom medicine. I'm trying to give you a wisdom check.
Actually, I'm better at the investigation.
Oh, great. So let's do an investigation then.
19.
Great. So, let's see. As you look, I mean, it's definitely tough because there's not a ton left. But you take a look and you basically get the idea that this body is probably not the person that you were meant to meet, because this body looks like it's very, very old. And in fact, as you sort of look at it, it's a human body, and you get the sense that it is probably older than a human body should be. And I'm having a hard time sort of describing this visually, but basically the idea that you get is that this had been maybe this shade's body of choice for a very long time. I will say, notably, Reese doesn't really want to get anywhere near it, but that's totally understandable considering how vile and gross it is.
So yeah, Zephyr will do his best to get this thing out of here with as little trouble as possible.
Great. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, if he has to use his bedroll to get this guy out of here without like scattering bits of body all over, he'll probably take it out, cremate it with the bedroll, and like, oh, I'll have to buy another bedroll, I suppose. But that'll be the first order of business.
Great. All right. So you sort of gather that up and you go downstairs to take it out of the house, and you reach for the front door knob to open it up and head outside, and there is a loud sort of this is a weird thing to say, but I think you'll all know what I mean, like an angry knocking on the front door.
Oh dear. So Zephyr will not open the door while holding the dead body in a sleeping bag, but he'll kind of tuck it away to the side, and then he will go to the door and say, "Who is it?"
And the voice from behind the door says, "Well, I could ask the same question of you."
We are from the why did I forget our group
Soldiers
name?
of Acheron.
Soldiers of Acheron. We are from the Soldiers of Acheron, and we were asked to come here. May I ask who you are?
Ugh, you're meddling twits. That's who you are. Open up.
Okay, very well. I will open the door and I will just say, well, I don't know that doing our job is exactly meddling, but we can have that discourse presently.
Standing on the other side of the door is a fairly tall, sturdy-looking human woman. She's got her hands on her hips. She's got a belt, it looks like a utility belt almost. It's got all of these pouches. You immediately can smell herbs and things like that just coming from all of these pouches on her. She's got long, dark hair braided into tight braids, and she just looks at you, and she's got her hands on her hips, and she says, "Well, you might not have meant to, but you've made a real mess of things. Step aside, we've got a lot to talk about." And that is actually, before you respond, where we're going to finish for today.
Okay.
Oh no!
Awesome.
I have so many questions.
I have probably answers for about half of them. So anyway, thank you all so very much for hanging out today. Thank the four of you for playing. I had a great time. Good combat, good roleplay, good voguing. It was a great time. I'm super excited about this cast and this game and this story. Thank you all so much for being here. Let's go around and if you would tell us your name, who you played, where we can find you on social media, if that is a thing you care to share, and one of your favorite moments from today's game. Let's go in the same order that we did at the top. So let's start with Alicia.
Hey, I'm Alicia, or NNG9 on Twitch and NNG9 on Twitter. I tweet stuff, stream stuff. Follow me. My favorite part today is probably actually Zenda's introduction. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was me.
I love it. Kyle.
Hi, my name is Kyle. I play Merrick. You can find me on Twitter at super_Queero. I just realized that Alicia's thing is energy, and I was like NRG at the entire time. I was very mad. I'm blonde.
Good.
I'll take energy.
Oh, I misheard then. Never mind.
This is such
Continue.
a good story.
Still blonde.
Yep.
My favorite part was this was a really good combat and really good use of misdirection with 3 different things we had to attack, but it was all the same thing. I liked it. It was interesting. Good job, Eugenio. Yeah. Find me on Twitter for things I do. Lots of other things.
Fantastic. Ismail.
Yes, so I am Elven Wizard King, or King Lorithorn on Twitter, and I like tweeting. I especially like highlighting other people's tweets, so follow me there. I also write under the name Ismael Alvarez, which hopefully that's not too hard for you to spell, but find me on Twitter and ask me, I will. Yeah, I will direct you to what I write on drivethroughrpg.com.
Yeah. And our new cast member this week, Miss Emily.
Hi, I'm Emily. I played Zenda, and I'm not on Twitter because my account got hacked years ago, and I never redid it. I am on Instagram, though, under Emily D. Mads, and I just, as we were playing this game, created a profile on Twitch to be able to write to people under D. Millie Mads, so I'm very excited about that.
Hooray.
My favorite part, I just really like getting to know all the different characters and what's happening, and I'm really excited to keep playing. This is really fun. Thanks for being so welcoming to me and my newness.
Oh my God, of course. It makes me so happy to have you here. I'm very excited. All right. And I am Eugenio, also known as your friendly neighborhood dungeon master, DM Jazzy Hands. You can find me on Twitter at DM Jazzy Hands. I am the dungeon master for the actual play podcast, The Last Refuge. We drop new episodes every Wednesday and have for almost 2 years now. Hopefully this week we're going to be announcing some details about our 2-year anniversary that's coming up 1 month from today. We're going to be doing some cool giveaway stuff. So definitely follow us on Twitter for the show's Twitter, which is at DND Last Refuge. Also, if you want to watch me stream more, you can catch me tonight in 4 hours on the Variant Roles channel. I'm going to be playing in a Ravnica game. I'm playing a a half-drow warlock named Zanafia, who I love. You can also watch me on Fridays. I play in a game on Encounter Roleplay called Basilica of Cudgel. I play a human cleric of Rao over there on Fridays. Or on Sundays, I DM a show on Gratuitous RP here on Twitch. They're a bunch of plane-hopping crazy people living in Faerun, and they have just been sent out on a mission set to them by the Raven Queen, which should be interesting. So you can watch me at all those places. If you ever need to figure out where I am, or if you've forgotten that, just follow me on Twitter. I talk about all that stuff there. Once again, I want to go through really quickly and just thank and acknowledge our sponsors and supporters. Thank you all to those of you who subscribe to this Twitch channel or subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/thegreyhawk channel. Both great ways to support this channel. Also, if you can't drop us dollars, that's okay too. We appreciate you watching either here or on YouTube for the VODs. If you are watching on Twitch right now and you haven't hit that little heart to follow us, go ahead and do that right now. We really appreciate it. We have a 400 new follower goal by the end of this season, and so every person helps. We love to have you. We are also supported by Roll20. We have a battle map sponsor, Heroic Maps, which you can find their stuff on DriveThruRPG. Tabletop Loot, you can go to tabletoploot.com and use the coupon code Greyhawk to get 15% off your order. And our Twitch subscribers and Patreon patrons get discount codes to Devin Rue's site, rueinc.com, and cantripcandles.com, who somebody just follow us, and I want to acknowledge them. But I might have missed oh, there it is. The name is thanks, Emily. Awesome. That is all for us here. Now, come back to the Greyhawk channel tonight. If you're not going to hop over to Variant Roles to see me in Ravnica, you should come back here at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern to watch Gnome's game, The Grove Where We Met or Meet. Really cool Feywild game. They started last week, and they are continuing on in week 2 this week. So come check them out 8 p.m. Eastern here on the Greyhawk channel. And, of course, check out all the other amazing programming that we've got throughout the week. The schedule is down below here on our Twitch channel. That's all for us from this week. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out either live in Twitch or on the VOD at YouTube. We will see you next week, same time, same place, 1 p.m. Eastern here on twitch.tv/the Greyhawk channel. Thanks very much to everybody who played, who watched. Happy gaming, y'all.
Stay hydrated.